ChicagolandschoolVouchers.com.
This is Larry Elder, inviting you to join me on the Alaska Cruise this summer, along with Mike Gallagher, Jennifer Horn, and Joe Piscopo. Enjoy Alaska's breathtaking beauty like never before. Text the word TRAVEL to 94878 to reserve your cabin today. This luxury trip is your chance to experience majestic scenery, patriotism, and adventure. We set sail August 16th through the 23rd. Reserve your cabin today. Text TRAVEL to 94878. That's TRAVEL to 94878.
Portions of the following show may be pre-recorded.
AM 560, The Answer.
Prepare to have your mind opened. The lies of the mainstream media are about to be exposed, and the hypocrisy of the left is about to be revealed. This is a revolution in how you think about politics, race, and culture. You've tuned into Black and Right with John Anthony.
I'm coming in hot. Yeah, coming in hot, just like the fajita. I write what I live, my life in the speaker. I'm nice with the flow, just like the demeanor. I'm feeding my fam, I'm feeding the meter. They got the iron while I got the steamer. I bring the fire, but you never seen her. I testify, I don't need a subpoena. They want my soul, better go to Korea. I love my dog just like I'm Peter. Gotta protect him. I made the call up with just like I'm reffing.
Welcome to this week's edition of Black and Right Radio on AM 560 The Answer. I'm your host, John Anthony, live in studio. What a day yesterday. If you missed it, Charles Thomas and I carried 2 radio shows at once. Sometimes that can get really, really confusing because there's certain things you can and can't say when you're hosting 2 shows from 2 different markets. But, sorry, I was running because I was getting my coffee. I was picking up the coffee. I only had 1 cup today, and I moved away from, creamer in my coffee. So, but yeah. So it was a heck of a show yesterday. I always love working with Charles Thomas. Charles Thomas, because just at the wealth of knowledge that he has, and he's been through and seen some things in the field of journalism that, you got. I just love to hear him talk about it as it relates to journalism dying. As I thought about how I wanted to open up today's show, as you guys know, there's been a lot that's been happening since the last Saturday. Donald Trump gives a speech to the joint session. That's the one thing about, having a show daily now, that I don't have to wait a whole week to catch up with, the news. But, as I was sitting there listening to Donald Trump give his speech, I'm not going to lie, I was so ecstatic to see not just Donald Trump up there, but what was standing behind him in J.D. Vance and Mike Johnson, the 3-headed juggernaut that was standing behind him. And knowing that these are people who are in their right minds and are looking to make decisions that will benefit us as Americans. Because I didn't know what Joe Biden was doing. And now I don't know if you guys heard that he used that auto pen just so many times as it relates to legislation. A lot of those pardons, the auto pen was used. Well, yeah, why? I wonder why the auto pen was used and not Joe Biden signed them. As you've seen, Donald Trump sign a lot of hundreds of executive offices with his own hand. And hopefully he doesn't have to, sign a lot of legislation, because the less government, the better, in my opinion. But as I sat and listened to the Donald Trump give his speech, how he opened it with 3 simple words, man, we are back.
America is back.
That's simple. We're back. We're back. And a lot of people, I've been seeing a lot of people who say they support Trump. They say I support Donald Trump, but no. he got to watch this. No. Sit back, let the man cook. He's still, guys, you do realize today is what, March 8th? Today's March 8th. He was just sworn in. It's coming up on a 2-month anniversary that Donald Trump's been president for 2 months, guys. Settle down, take a deep breath, and let the man cook. Because cook, I believe he is. And he's going to do some great things. But, you know, it's like, settle down. Everybody's all up in arms about, you know, what happened in the Oval Office with Zelensky. And, you know, I and others are being called Russian puppets because we you know what? Wait. Did people forget that the last 4 years that Joe Biden is president didn't talk to Putin at all? All he ever talked to and sent money to was Ukraine. Do you guys realize that? Because I see a lot of you wanting to think you understand foreign policy, but you're so clueless because you're too emotional. You're too emotional, and your Trump derangement syndrome blinds you. You are blinded with Trump derangement syndrome. You are blinded. And I really loved when Donald Trump said this about the Dems, because I do believe he set the stage for the night.
This is my 5th such speech to Congress. And once again, I look at the Democrats in front of me, and I realize there is absolutely nothing I can say to make them happy or to make them stand or smile or applaud. Nothing I can do. I could find a cure to the most devastating disease, a disease that would wipe out entire nations, or announce the answers to the greatest economy in history, or the stoppage of crime to the lowest levels ever recorded. And these people sitting right here will not clap, will not stand, and certainly will not cheer for these astronomical achievements. They won't do it, no matter what. Five times I've been up here. It's very sad, and it just shouldn't be this way.
And guess what, guys? They proved him right the rest of the night. They completely proved him right the rest of the night. And one of those things, little DJ Daniel, who I'm working on trying to get him on this show, or either my Detroit Morning Answer show. Shout out to Riley. Riley's been doing a heck of a job on Detroit's Morning Answer as the producer of the show. Shout out to you, Riley. But DJ Daniel.
Joining us in the gallery tonight is a young man who truly loves our police. His name is DJ Daniel. He is 13 years old, and he has always dreamed of becoming a police officer. But in 2018, DJ was diagnosed with brain cancer. The doctors gave him 5 months at most to live. That was more than 6 years ago. Since that time, DJ and his dad have been on a quest to make his dream come true, and DJ has been sworn in as an honorary law enforcement officer, actually a number of times. The police love him, the police departments love him. And tonight, DJ, we're going to do you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service.
And you would think, yeah. Just for you identitarians, you know, Dan Proft's favorite word, for you identitarians that are out there, DJ's black, and not one single Black Caucus member stood up for him, not one. Was it because it's the profession, the police being that he wants to be a police officer? How and why couldn't you stand for him? Why? Please explain to me why you were unwilling to stand for this kid, who all he wants is to be a police officer. What about Jason Hartley?
We're joined tonight by a young man, Jason Hartley, who knows the weight of that call of duty. Jason's father, grandfather, and great-grandfather all wore the uniform. Jason tragically lost his dad, who was also a Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputy when he was just a boy, and now he wants to carry on the family legacy of service. Jason is a senior in high school, a 6-letter varsity athlete, a really good athlete, they say, a brilliant student with a 4.46, that's good, GPA. And his greatest dream is to attend the U.S. Military Academy at West Point. And Jason, that's a very big deal getting in. That's a hard one to get into. But I'm pleased to inform you that your application has been accepted. You will soon be joining the Corps of Cadets.
Oh, let me guess. They couldn't stand up for that either, huh? Yeah. I mean, please continue to show us who you are, because the American people are waking up to who you are. If you go on social media, there are posts everywhere of minorities just slamming Democrat actions or inaction on that night. Guys, we're gonna get into this homeschool bill here in Illinois at the bottom of the hour. Will Estrada will join us. We can't give them an inch, they'll take a country mile. We'll be right back.
Actions
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House.
have consequences,
The chair now directs the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order,
whether in Congress
that Representative Al Green be censured.
or elsewhere.
There are instances of organizations receiving billions of dollars that had no previous record of doing any type of work.
Someone is going to pay with jail time.
Talk about what it all means
Taking U.S. citizens will be answered in the toughest way possible.
on AM 560. The Answer.
Did you know that AM 560 Radio has a full-service digital marketing division called Salem Surround? If you're a business decision maker, listen up. AM 560 listeners are everywhere your potential audience is. So are our incredible targeting capabilities. We localize digital marketing and put it within reach of every business, small and large, in Chicagoland and beyond. Salem Surround offers AI-powered marketing solutions that reach your ideal audience. Whether or not you tap into the proven live, local, and emotional connection that AM 560 Radio brings, Salem Surround offers a total marketing solution to our partners. All-in-one digital solutions that provide targeted local digital and social media ads, Google AdWords management, website services, video strategy, search optimization, and even a management dashboard to offer you total campaign updates and transparency. Your Salem Surround representative is located right here in Chicago. Experience the Salem Surround digital revolution today. Call 847-472-8951. That's 847-472-8951.
When you hear the term living better, what do you think about? More money, a bigger house, maybe a yacht? What about how you feel physically? How do you wake up each day? How do you sleep during the night? What activities you can and cannot do? When you feel good, life is good. So if pain is affecting your life, see how Relief Factor can help. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally, developed by doctors. It doesn't just mask pain temporarily. It helps reduce or even eliminate pain. How do I know? Absolutely am a customer. I take Relief Factor daily. No lower back pain for me anymore. In fact, the longer you take it, the more effective it is. Give their 3-week quick start a try. It's only $19.95, less than $1 a day. Just one phone call, 800-4-RELIEF, 800-4-RELIEF. Relief Factor, relief wherever you're hurting in 3 weeks or even days. Relief Factor can give you a chance to rediscover the true meaning of living better again. Visit ReliefFactor.com or call 800-4-RELIEF. That's 800-4-RELIEF for the one and only Relief Factor.
An informed and educated citizenry is the only guarantee to preserve our constitutional republic. And each week, you'll hear from experts, not pundits, and find out what's really happening, from local issues to national politics. Listen to The Real Story with Jeannie Ives. There's no topic of public policy concern that she won't talk about. Stop the lies. Learn the truth. Join the conversation. Sunday night at 7, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Hey homeowners, looking for the best way to make your home a dream home? Make it happen at the free home show at the Schaumburg Convention Center. With just one easy, fun, and free visit to this huge event, you'll find everything you need to save time and money and get free answers to your questions from friendly experts who are eager to help you improve your home, all with free admission and parking. Next weekend only. For details, visit SchaumburgHomeshow.com today. That's SchaumburgHomeshow.com.
This is Black and Right with John Anthony.
Welcome back to Black and White Radio on AM 560 The Answer. Did you guys, I don't know where President Trump was being interviewed, but he said that he talked to Biden, and Biden told him this.
I asked him, I said, so who do you blame? Because he was very angry. He's a very angry guy, actually. And he said, I blame Barack. And I never think of him as Barack. You always hear Obama. You say, you have to think about that for a second. And he said, and I also blame Nancy Pelosi. I said, what about the vice president? He said, no, I don't blame her, which was interesting. Yeah. He didn't blame her. He blamed, told me he blamed those two people.
Whoa. Well, didn't Trump get in trouble for something called election interference? So, did they step in and install Kamala as the candidate? Isn't that interfering with the election? According to how they've redefined what interference of an election is, right? They've redefined what this is now. So didn't Barack and Nancy Pelosi, and I'm sorry, I know he probably didn't mention Kamala, but I'm sure she's part of that, of wanting to push him out. I don't know why she thinks she had an opportunity or a chance. Let's go to the phone lines. David from Lansing. David, welcome to Black and Right.
Hey, John. Great show. I'm coming in medium like the temperature in the Chicagoland area, which is improving.
That's true.
And whoever chooses your music, whether it's you or somebody, deserves a raise. You got the best bumper music in the business. I'm telling you, man. I love it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Anyway, I listened to your intro and your rant about TDS, Trump Derangement Syndrome, and I agree with you 99%.
Yeah. It's that 1%.
We should just let him. We should let him run. And I'm going to tell you the 1% where I disagree.
Yeah.
There's only three things. Like, we should let him run. He's damaging the left's social constructs. The construction that they did, which is the destruction of freedom, and we should let Trump go through and re-architecture, like redesign everything and just do his destruction, the creative destruction that he's going to do. I agree with it. I have just three criticisms, and I agree with everything else he's doing. Number one, he never got to the bottom of the 9/11 NIST report. Number two, he's running with the pandemic vaccines, never backtrack on that, and I believe he should backtrack on his decision to support these vaccines. And number three, his unconditional support of what Israel's doing in Gaza and everything. I mean, he should come out and, if they make a mistake, he should call them out on it and not 100% pedal to the metal, cover everything they're doing, support everything they're doing. I do believe, that Israel should have reacted to this, terrorism, but in the way that they're doing it, I do believe there should be a criticism here and there. But other than that, Trump's doing a beautiful job. I agree with what he's doing. His speech, supporting the border agents, supporting law enforcement, and supporting the military with the West Point.
Yeah.
The guy said
Laken
those
Riley.
are beautiful.
Hey,
right.
but David, here's the deal. I've said this publicly. I don't think Israel did enough. I don't know if there's an account on Twitter. I have to find it. When you see just how barbaric the acts of October 7th were, I think it'll change your mind. And also, I'm gonna let you go, and I want you to hear. I'm gonna play some of those hostages in the White House. And yeah, I don't think Israel did enough. I think they should have went in there and completely annihilated them. They should have went in the tunnels, killed as many of them as possible. That's just me.
I agree. That's just me. They were barbaric. I agree that the actions of October 7th were barbaric, but Israel should be careful to target military targets and terrorists and not have any extra, what do you call them, innocent bystanders.
Yeah, but David, this is what they do. You remember, I had the Givati, is it Givati Brigade? I had the former commander on. He talked about how there's so many hospitals in Gaza. The reason why they do that, this is where they build, and this is where they fight out of these hospitals and schools, and they're doing this. The terrorists are doing this, not Israel. They have every single right to defend themselves, and they had every in my opinion, every single right to go in there and crush them. That's just me.
I do agree. In general, with the general. Yes, I do agree with you in general. Yes, but we could debate about this all day. I don't want to take your time.
That's okay, David.
Nice show.
Thank you, brother. Let's go to Al from Rosemont. Big Al, what's up, brother?
Hey, how you doing, good brother?
I'm doing good, brother. How are you?
I'm all right. I just want to respond about this, the Hamas in Israel. Anyone that hides behind their people to wage a war, how do you combat something like that? That is total evil. I think Hamas needs to be eradicated off of this planet.
That's me.
In that retrospect.
Yeah.
And that person, I would have to question. I can't feel anybody who supports Palestine in Gaza, knowing that their people are harboring the people, the hostages, and laying cover for this. So if you want to stand in front of that bomb, so shall you be.
Oh,
that's my opinion.
Man, Big Al, take care, brother. Craig from Mount Greenwood.
Oh, hey, John.
Are you washing dishes?
Really good to hear
you. Are you
John.
washing dishes, Craig? Are you washing dishes or are you cooking? I heard some plates stack on each other.
Wait. Oh, you heard me in the kitchen?
Yes.
I'm in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I'm basically trimming up a little steak and everything for my wife and I and a couple grandkids coming over. And, yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah. What's up, brother?
Hey. Plus, it was really good seeing you for that breakfast.
Yeah, it was.
When we went over there. Oh, it's always good to see you, brother. Hey, anyways, so 2 points. One is Trump, with regard to these people, like these judges and everything, barging in on everything he's trying to do with Doge and telling me they didn't do anything. These judges didn't do anything with when Obama or Biden were doing things. And Trump should do like Obama said, I got a pen and a phone. Well, Trump's got a pen and a phone. You should get on that pen with an executive order. And when these people interfere with his investigations and doing things with the with what he wants to do to take and trim down the fat, he ought to make it like a crime. Okay, here's the other point, John, if I may.
Yeah, hurry up, quick.
Your program has been about like why this Trump syndrome. It's because, like you could read in the Bible, where God turned over evil unbelievers to a depraved heart and mind, where they do all kinds, and they all the way till the time they're going to be judged in hell. They just get worse and worse and do stupid stuff. That's why they're so deranged and everything. I believe that God has actually turned them over there to a depraved mind.
Yeah, I agree
what do you think about that?
I'm totally agreeing with you. Thanks so much, Craig. Let's go to Terry from Rogers Park.
Yeah, I saw 2 different magazines at Target today about Luigi Mangiani's murder of Brian Thompson on Manhattan sidewalk by the building United Healthcare, and that Luigi deserves the death penalty.
I agree. Thank you, Terry. I really agree with you. Robert from Bloomingdale.
Hey, how you doing today?
What's up, brother?
Good. I just wanted to say my wife and I were watching the Trump address to Congress on C-SPAN. He did a fine job, I thought. And the radical left is a disgrace. I mean, they're sitting there. Al Green gets kicked out. They're standing there with their little signs dressed in pink. It just shows you how far the Democratic Party of the yesteryear has turned into the radical left lunatics that they are today. And how can you take a people like that serious?
That's true.
You know,
that's true. I'm with you, Robert. Thank you so much for calling. Mitchell, we got about a minute. Go.
Okay, so, John, feel about Biden. 8 months before the debate with Trump, they said he was perfectly fine. He was 100% aware. Yeah. He didn't have a van dementia. That was just a ruse. No, it's all just an illusion. Then he's down as much as 26 points. So somebody on the DNC said, you know what, we got to get him out. And then they realized when stupid Kamala Harris, that vapid-minded idiot, she was down as much as 24 points in all the perennial swing states. So when Trump, during his speech, goes, we won all 7, that was a mass victory. The DNC knew she was underwater, and they lied to everybody to keep the funding going. It's all about the money, Daddy-O. Do you hear what I'm saying?
I do. And I agree with you, Mitchell. It's all about follow the money. Guys, House Bill 2827. The government doesn't have a foothold in homeschooling, but they're trying to get one. Call your friends. Tune in. We're going to have a really good conversation with Real Estrada about a House Bill 2827. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Don't put your blame on me.
President Trump is moving at lightning speed.
And after that, all hell is going to break out.
Executive orders, new policies, promises kept. It's hard to keep up until now. Subscribe to the Trump Report. This email brings you daily highlights from the Oval Office right to your inbox 5 days a week.
I will put America first.
It'll help you follow President Trump at the speed of Trump.
Sign up today at 560theanswer.com/Trump.
I'm Deborah Valentine. House Speaker Mike Johnson today introduced a funding bill designed to avert a partial government shutdown of the government next Friday. Fox's Lucas Tomlinson reports President Donald Trump has signaled his support for the bill in a post to Truth Social.
Trump posting a short time ago on Truth Social, quote, the House and Senate have put together under the circumstances a very good funding bill, CR. All Republicans should vote, please, yes, next week.
Johnson said he will bring the funding bill to the floor early next week. The Organization of Islamic Cooperation has backed a plan for an administrative committee of Palestinians to govern the territory, rejecting a plan by the U.S. and Israel to empty the strip of the Palestinian population and rebuild. Toronto police searching for 3 armed suspects following Friday night's shooting at a Toronto pub, which injured 12 people, including 6 struck by gunfire. A motive is unknown. America's listening to Fox News.
A great smile can make you feel happy and confident. So when you consciously conserve your teeth, that glowing smile will show through. At Best Dental Group, doctors Economos, Gabe Alice, and their staff are ready to help you create that perfect look or maintain the one you have now. Along with general dentistry, Best Dental Group is a multidiscipline practice with an orthodontist, periodontist, and prosthetic specialists on site. They use the newest breakthroughs in dental technology such as titanium implants, Invisalign clear braces, and laser treatments. Don't let fear get in the way. They can recommend sedation to make your experience as comfortable as possible. Best Dental Group is located in historic downtown Bartlett and is a multilingual office. Call 630-830-4930, 630-830-4930, or visit bestdental.org. Best Dental Group, sharing your conservative values and helping you to conserve your teeth.
Would you go to court without a lawyer when the other guy is lawyered up? Or are you going to go it alone and learn law and procedure as you go? When you have an insurance claim for your home or business, it's the same thing.
This is Dan Lights from Crosscom. We inspect your property, file your claim, negotiate the damages, and maximize your settlement with your insurance company.
Insurance companies will send out their inspectors that work for them, get paid by them, and represent them. Not you.
If we complete the repairs approved by your insurance company, our service is free. Crosscom Public Adjusters has turned denied claims into approved claims. We've also increased insurance claims anywhere from 23 to 1,000%, and we could do the same for you. We are licensed by the Department of Insurance and work in Illinois, Northwest Indiana, and Southern Wisconsin. Crosscom Public Adjusters, 630-871-5500. Online at crosscominc.com. That's crosscominc.com. Crosscom, building trust for over 20 years.
Imagine using your skills and experiences to inspire young minds. We see the teacher in you, No matter your starting point, we can help you become a teacher. Teaching offers consistent pay, a pension, and summers off. Learn how you can be the teacher. Visit BeTheTeacher.org. Sponsored by Grow Your Own Teachers, Illinois.
You never want to miss one of life's most important moments. A graduation, a birthday, a first communion, a wedding. When these moments happen, you want to make sure to capture them so that you and your loved ones can remember them for years to come. For over 30 years, families have relied on Tom Kaloran Photography to capture important life moments. This locally owned family business can provide the solutions you need for your important event photography, from weddings and birthdays to class reunions and golf outings. No matter the size or scope, Tom Kaloran Photography will make sure you have lasting memories to share for years to come. Tom Kaloran Photography is also the official photographer for AM 560 The Answer. To learn more and to see their portfolio, just visit KaloranPhotography.com. That's KILLORAN photography.com. Or call them at 708-361-0025. Tom Kaloran Photography, capturing important life moments for over 30 years.
Hey, heard you're getting ready to move.
We just listed our house on the market.
Just make sure you have the right attorney.
Doesn't the real estate agent take care of all that?
They stay involved, but you want to make sure you have a great lawyer that's negotiating the terms, helping resolve inspection items, clearing up title issues, preparing the deed and other documents, and attending the closing.
The attorneys at Nauman & Associates in Elk Grove Village have decades of experience handling real estate transactions every day all over Chicagoland. NALawGroup.com.
And now, more Black and Right with John Anthony.
Welcome back to Black and Right Radio on AM 560 The Answer, as well as Detroit 92.7 and AM 1400 The Answer. Welcome into our Detroit crowd. I'm so ecstatic about doing Detroit Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 a.m. Eastern Time. If you're here in Chicago, that's 6 to 8 a.m. So hopefully you can start listening in, tuning in. We're gonna can't wait till we can start streaming that show on Detroit's Morning Answer. I just can't wait. But you can also listen online at theanswerdetroit.com. Now, as it relates to education, this is something that it's really near and dear to my heart. It really is. I sat on a charter, basically what it was a charter school education committee when I served in Springfield. And anytime I see the government trying to get a step or a foot in something, it raises my alarms because I know one thing about the government. They're always looking to, if they're not in it, they're always looking to get in it. Because they want control, they want power, they want complete control over our children. And I'll be damned if I allow that to happen on my watch. And that's why I wanted to have Will Estrada. He's an attorney with the Homeschool Legal Defense Association. I wanted him to come on, and I had him on yesterday on the Morning Answer. I just didn't feel like we had enough time to really delve into the issue of this House Bill 2827. Will, welcome back. Welcome to Black and Right Radio.
John, it is great to be on. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Now, help us understand, what is House Bill 2827 trying to do as it relates to homeschooling here in the state of Illinois?
So this bill will completely change how families educate their children absent government schools. So it'll affect traditional brick and mortar private schools. It'll affect homeschoolers in Illinois. So the background is 75 years ago in 1950, the Illinois Supreme Court in a landmark case, People versus Levison, legalized homeschooling. They said it's a type of private school. They established a framework. Parents needed to make sure their children were getting a rigorous education. If there was questions about the education, then the family, they would have the burden of proof to showing the court that they were educating their children. And for 75 years, that system has worked really well in Illinois. Illinois has basically some of the most freedom in the United States. And as a result, particularly post-COVID, we have seen exponential growth in the homeschool community in Illinois. These are, white, Black, Latino, Asian, rich, poor, Republican, Democrat. It cuts across all kind of demographics and groups because it's parents who love their kids.
Yeah.
HB 2827 would change all of that. For the first time, homeschoolers would have to annually file with the public school authorities. If they don't, there's this 10-day window, and then they could be charged with truancy, which is a Class C misdemeanor, $500 fine, 30 days in jail. Opens the door to DCFS investigations, removal of children. It gives the regional offices of education or Chicago public schools, depending on where you live in Illinois, the authority to come in at any time and for any reason. The actual language is for any other investigation as needed, end quote, to come in and review the records, work samples, educational portfolio of homeschoolers. And then, as if going after homeschoolers is not enough, the bill also mandates that every single private school in Illinois would have to, number one, register with the Illinois State Board of Education. Currently, that's optional, so a lot of Amish, a lot of Mennonite private schools don't register. A lot of even Jewish and Muslim schools don't register with ISBE, and then many other, all the Christian denominations as well. Some do, some don't. So that's the first thing. They have to register with ISBE. These are traditional brick-and-mortar private schools. They have to send to ISBE, the Illinois State Board of Education, data on every single family, student, parent who's enrolled in their school. That's a massive data collection system on private schools, religious schools. And then they have to mandate that every single person, down to the janitors in their private school, have a high school diploma.
Yeah. And don't forget the parent themselves have to also have a high school diploma.
Right. You cannot homeschool unless you have a high school diploma. And, most people have a high school diploma, but I was in Springfield at the Illinois Christian Home Educators annual Cherry Pie Day on Thursday, and this mom came up to me. She and her husband both are of Mexican descent. They're homeschooling their kids, small business, kind of American dream right here. And she said there are many people who we know in our communities who don't have a high school diploma. Their kids have been bullied. They're self-taught. They're smart. They're running businesses. They just don't have that piece of paper. And she said they wouldn't be able to homeschool their kids if this bill were to become law in Illinois.
Wow. Here in Illinois, there's a strong presence of homeschoolers. We got to go to break, but I want to mention Minister Latasha and her husband, Ronnie Fields, who operate CHESS, Christian Home Educator Support System. She's like, and my own sister, Rachel, she actually does a co-op out of her former church. I don't know if she's still doing it at the former church or not, but it's important that parents.
Latasha and Ronnie are some of my best friends. They are so awesome.
They really are. They're just the salt of the world, man. I mean, they will give you the shirts off their back. Well, we got to go to break. When we come back, let's discuss more of this bill, and we got to make sure if it happens here in Illinois, it's going to spread like a wildfire. We'll be right back.
Hey, Carl Jackson here for Dennis Prager. While Dennis Prager is recuperating, we know you miss your daily dose of Dennis. That's why Pragertopia is giving you a special gift. Right now, Pragertopia members can hear the best 2 hours of Dennis's favorite segments from as far back as 2010. On Monday, you can hear the Happiness Hour.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's what I'm about.
Tuesday is Celebrity Guest Day.
Donald Trump Jr. is in studio with me.
On Wednesday, it's the Male-Female Hour.
I really do wish there were a way to ascertain the number of marriages that this hour has helped.
Thursday, the Ultimate Issues Hour.
Not having ultimate issues clarity is like having a map, but you don't know where you're going.
And Friday is Open Lines.
Feel free to ask me anything about me, about you, about life.
So if you're missing your daily dose of Dennis, go to Pragertopia.com and hear all your favorite segments along with lectures, celebrity interviews, and his famous Torah teachings and more. Get your daily dose of Dennis at Pragertopia.com, Pragertopia.com.
Hear from one of America's most important public intellectuals on the Victor Davis Hanson Show.
Europe is saying to us, if you have a U.S. platform and you have an interview we don't like, we're going to fine you to the extent we can over in Europe. So they interfere with us all the time. And if they don't like X and they don't like Google and they don't like Apple phones, just make your own.
Subscribe to the Victor Davis Hanson Show today on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, Rumble, or at SalemPodcastNetwork.com. SalemSurround.com.
Did you know that AM 560 Radio has a full-service digital marketing division called Salem Surround? If you're a business decision maker, listen up. AM 560 listeners are everywhere your potential audience is. So are our incredible targeting capabilities. We localize digital marketing and put it within reach of every business, small and large, in Chicagoland and beyond. Salem Surround offers AI-powered marketing solutions that reach your ideal audience. Whether or not you tap into the proven live, local, and emotional connection that AM 560 Radio brings, Salem Surround offers a total marketing solution to our partners. All-in-one digital solutions that provide targeted local digital and social media ads, Google AdWords management, website services, video strategy, search optimization, and even a management dashboard to offer you total campaign updates and transparency. Your Salem Surround representative is located right here in Chicago. Experience the Salem Surround digital revolution today. Call 847-472-8951. That's 847-472-8951.
Honey, we're not moving, but we gotta do something about this kitchen.
Funny you mention it. I just stopped by Forever Remodeling's new showroom in Niles. I saw over a dozen kitchen and bathroom layouts they designed. They even offered to stop by the house and give us a free in-home design consultation.
What'd you tell them?
That we're free today?
Visit foreverremodeling.com today. That's the number 4, everremodeling.com. Forever Remodeling, stress-free and high-quality remodeling.
Black and Right continues. Once again, here's John Anthony.
Welcome back to Black and Right Radio on AM 560, The Answer, 92.7, and AM 1400, The Answer in the Detroit, Michigan area. Before the break, we were talking to Will Estrada. He's an attorney fighting the battle against this homeschool bill. Now, Will, what are some of the most outrageous portions of this homeschool bill called House Bill 2827?
Yeah, I think it's a 45-page bill, John, which just, changes the law, kind of overturns 75 years of Illinois Supreme Court precedent. But I break it down to 3 main things that are particularly egregious. The first one is the penalties for failing to file a form. There's about 38 states across the country. Illinois is one of 12 currently that do not require homeschoolers to file anything. In fact, that trend is increasing. So this bill would be going in the opposite direction. But there are a lot of states where homeschoolers have to file something with the school district. None of them say if you don't file this in 10 days, you're guilty of truancy and you're going to jail. So these kind of draconian penalties just for not filing a piece of paper are particularly troubling to me. One interesting thing is we're seeing across the country a push towards less getting people into the criminal justice system, understanding that you get a criminal conviction on your record, you spend even a week in jail, that can have life-changing ramifications, negative ramifications on you and your family for years to come. And this bill goes in the opposite direction. It says, and I think it comes out of a philosophy you identified in the very opening moment, it comes out of this philosophy of we don't like private education, whether it's homeschools, traditional brick-and-mortar private schools, and if you don't do everything we say you need to do right off the bat, it's a 10-day window you've got in the bill. You're going to truancy court, potentially 30 days in jail, $500 fine, all that sort of thing. So that's one thing that really strikes me as very damaging in this bill. The second one is how the regional offices of education or Chicago Public Schools, again, depending on where you live in Illinois, can come in at any time and do these portfolio reviews. The bill doesn't limit it. It doesn't say would they be dragging in the kids to the regional office of education. Doesn't say if they'd be coming to homes and trying to get in. Of course, the Fourth Amendment applies whether or not HB 2827 passes, but it's still very concerning of even at the bare minimum, the disruption it would have to families, particularly in vulnerable communities where maybe families can't afford a lawyer to defend their rights if the regional office of education or Chicago Public Schools is coming in and harassing a family. And then the third one is how it's going after private schools, this massive data collection on traditional brick-and-mortar private schools. I mean, I'm not a fan of government getting databases on families and kids, but particularly at this time in our nation's history, there are some vulnerable communities where that could be very traumatic for them and very scary of this information being given to the government. How is it going to be used? We don't know.
Yeah. I think about friends of mine who work with special need kids, and I think about my friend, her name was Jennifer Price, but I hope I'm saying her last name right now, but Jennifer Shegog. She has a group called Special Connections. What impact would this have on children with special needs as it relates to the IEP? Will this affect them as well?
So that is a fantastic point, John, and it will end their ability to get special education services. And let me explain how. The federal IDEA, Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act, these are the federal systems that support kids with disabilities or special needs. They only apply to public and private schools. So in a state where homeschooling is legally defined as a private school, like in Illinois, you can still get some services from the school district. Now, it's less than if your kids were fully enrolled in the public school, but it's still going to be good services. That does not apply if you're in a state where it's legally defined as a homeschool. No one's talking about this, so I'm so glad you brought it up. By changing 75 years of precedent under People versus Levison in Illinois and now creating a homeschool statute, every single family that has a child with special needs that's getting some sort of service from the public school in their homeschool program is now going to lose out of that, and they will no longer be able to get those services.
So Section 40 on page 11, it requires the Division of Children and Family Services, DCFS, to alert the school district if DCFS simply has had any contact with a homeschool kid. This then triggers an investigation as described on page 11, line 12. The Regional Office of Education Intermediate Service Center, or Chicago Public Schools, has the power to conduct an investigation to see if a homeschool declaration form under Section 20 has been submitted for the child. So any contact that they have, I mean, think about how does that help the student and the parent? Well, I mean, what's that portion about?
So it gets even worse. You were reading it, and then the very last line says, and any other investigations as needed. So here's what would happen in the real world. And John, as I'm reading this bill, I don't think the legislators who drafted it know how homeschooling works and how this is going to harm vulnerable families, vulnerable children, vulnerable communities. Because here's what will happen. Let's say a neighbor sees the kid playing or riding their bike. We get this thing all the time. More and more states are passing laws saying, no, it's not neglect to let your kids play outside or ride your bike on the street. So let's say a nosy neighbor sees that. They call Child Protective Services, DCFS. DCFS comes out. They're like, no, everything's fine. You're a great parent. Kids are playing outside. That's great. They're not in front of iPads. You're good to go. But HB 2827 just became law. So now DCFS is required to send this information over to Chicago Public Schools or the Regional Office of Education if it's a homeschool family, and now they're going to come in and do a further investigation, potentially reviewing their educational program for a completely unrelated matter. You know what? It's going to harm vulnerable kids who truly are at risk of abuse and neglect by flooding the system with.
Hey, Will, we got one more segment. Let's talk about what can the parents do when we get back.
Are you an administrator, staff member, or parent volunteer at a private school? Would you like to grow your current enrollment and welcome new families to your school? If so, we want to tell you about a great opportunity to help increase enrollment and promote your school to families all across Chicagoland. It's called ChicagolandSchoolVouchers.com. They work to connect private schools with new families who are looking for discounted first-year tuition. In exchange, your school will receive a marketing campaign to help grow your enrollment. Chicagoland School Vouchers does all the work to bring new families together with your school and help you expand your reach. They've been working with schools across Chicagoland for over a decade. As the demand for school choice grows here in Illinois, your private school needs to take advantage of this program. To learn more, just visit ChicagolandSchoolVouchers.com. That's ChicagolandSchoolVouchers.com.
During tax season, your personal info travels to a lot of places you can't control. Between payroll, your home office, your tax preparer, and the IRS, if your W-2 gets exposed, that's just the ticket for identity thieves. That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Don't let identity thieves take you for a ride. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code CLAY. Visit LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated in the best hearing aids of 2024 by USA Today, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, just $189.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 500,000 happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
It's the show the mainstream media doesn't want you to know about. It's Black and Right with John Anthony.
Back to Black and Right Radio. Before the break, we were talking to Will Estrada. Will, you willing to take a few questions before we close it out? What parents can do?
You know, I'd love to, John. I'm having such a good time. We can go a little longer if you've got the time.
All right, let's bring on Don, Paul. Don, welcome to Black and Right. Oh, you got her there. There she is. Don, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's okay. Hi, Paul. How are you doing today, sir?
Go ahead. What's your question, Don?
Okay, so here's my question. Are you saying that this is going to affect those children with disabilities and proportionate share services? So if a student has been privately placed and they have a service plan, they're not going to have an IEP because they're being privately placed. But if they have a service plan, are you saying that it's going to affect them? And here's my other issue. A lot of parents have districts that have placed districts who want to place children in the ISB-approved therapeutic day schools, and they don't want that. They want a general education classroom setting. Well, in reality, if the state is not following the IDEA and ensuring that these children are placed in their least restrictive environment, couldn't there be a scenario where somebody does a state complaint on ISB to say, listen, we need an audit of the entire state because we're suspecting there's a huge percentage of children that are being placed in therapeutic day schools and they're not having access to a general education classroom? I mean, I know I'm going into an open can of worms, but
it's a great question. Let me. So one good thing is, if HB 2827 were to pass, it would not apply to public schools. So kids in public schools, ISP, IEP, anything like that. It would not apply to kids in traditional brick and mortar private schools who are being privately placed. It would only impact children with special needs or children with disabilities who are being homeschooled, who are currently receiving some sort of services through the local school district. And the reason is because it would be changing, legally speaking, home education in Illinois from being as a type of private school to being a home school. And so then you lose out on IDEA funds, Section 504, any of the federal funds. Of course, Illinois could always say, okay, since we're losing out on those federal funds for the homeschooled kids, the home-educated kids who are receiving services, we'll step up our Illinois-specific funding. I guess that could happen. It's not in HB 2827, and it would require a fiscal note, so we'd be starting all over again.
Okay. Thank you, Don.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Don. So, Will, how can parents get involved in this? I know they just had Pi Day. I used to love Pi Day. I mean, some of the most amazing pie was given out on Pi Day. But how can parents get involved? What do they need to do to ensure that this bill does not become law?
So call your representative, your state representative, call your Illinois state senator, and politely, respectfully, but let them know this bill is not ready for prime time. Yeah. Reject HB 2827. The second thing you can do is you can go on the Illinois General Assembly webpage and fill out a witness slip against HB 2827. Illinois has set that up so that even if you can't come down to Springfield to testify against the bill, you make your voice heard. And, John, I'm thrilled to tell you, right now there are 380 witness slips in favor of HB 2827 and over 18,000 against HB 2827. In fact, it's been so disproportionate, people saying reject HB 2827. We're hearing rumors the bill is not going to come up on Wednesday after all and might be pushed to week after next. That would be March 19th.
Okay. We got another question, but we got to go to break. Can you hold 0.7 and AM 1400 Detroit. We'll be right back.
Replacing windows in the winter may seem counterintuitive, but the fact is, it's a great time to really feel the difference of high-performance windows from Valdecast.
When it's time to consider new windows, siding, and doors for your home, you need to look no further. Sebastian Gorka here to tell you about Valdecast. Valdecast has been the trusted name chosen by thousands of homeowners, and they should be your number one choice too. But what's really behind the name Valdecast? Over 25 years of a team dedicated to providing you with the best customer service experience and products that truly bring value to your home. They are a Pella Platinum Elite Status certified contractor for a reason. They have an A+ rating with the BBB, as well as high ratings and positive reviews on both Google and Houzz. Schedule your free in-house consultation at Valdecast.com.
Ask about exclusive manufacturer warranties and the Valdecast 10-year workmanship guarantee.
Don't wait. Book today at Valdecast.com. For the best in class, it's Valdecast.
News, opinion, insight. This is AM 560, The Answer. WIND, Chicago. Streaming at 560theanswer.com on the AM 560 mobile app, or tell your smart speaker to play The Answer, Chicago.
A proposed funding bill. I'm Deborah Valentine, Fox News. President Trump is urging passage of a new bill funding the federal government until September. It was introduced by the House Speaker Mike Johnson today. Fox's Lucas Tomlinson reports from the White House.
Ahead of a possible government shutdown, President Trump urging Republicans to come together and pass a stopgap measure. Trump posting a short time ago on Truth Social, quote, "The House and Senate have put together under the circumstances a very good funding bill, CR. All Republicans should vote, please, yes, next week. Great things are coming for America, and I'm asking you all to give us a few months to get us through September so we can continue to put the country's financial house in order. Democrats will do anything they can to shut down our government, and we can't let that happen. We have to remain united, no dissent, fight for another day when the timing is right. Very important, make America great again."
The House GOP leaders are confident that they can pass the funding bill with Republican votes alone. President Trump has sent a letter to the leader of Iran in an effort to negotiate a nuclear agreement.
This is a pivot for President Trump, who in 2018 withdrew from the Iran nuclear deal. At the time, the president said it did not do enough to deal with the threat of Iran's missile program. Now, Trump is facing a critical point as Iran advances its nuclear program. Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, says Tehran won't be accepting President Trump's demands. Khamenei rejected the prospect of holding talks with the Trump administration. His comment came days after President Trump restored its campaign of maximum pressure in Iran to stop it from developing a nuclear weapon. Iran's foreign minister maintains they won't negotiate as long as those severe sanctions are in place.
Fox's Madeline Rivera reporting. A report from the UN nuclear watchdog says Iran sped up its production of enriched uranium in the last 3 months. America's listening to Fox News.
Now, your official weather forecast.
Breezy this evening, otherwise clear with a low of 31. Mostly sunny tomorrow, a nice end to the weekend with a high of 57. Clear tomorrow night with a low of 37. A warm breeze with plenty of sunshine on Monday, high 61. Mainly clear Monday night with a low of 47. Times of clouds and sun on Tuesday, high 56. Partly cloudy Tuesday night with a low of 42. I'm Jillian Ford on AM 560, The Answer.
Get the latest weather, traffic, and news updates online at 560theanswer.com.
You heard me talk about Relief Factor and how so many people enjoy a better, more pain-free life because of it. If you're dealing with everyday pain, it makes sense you'd want to try it first. Well, Relief Factor makes that pretty pain-free too with their 3-week quick start kit for only $19.95. An easy, affordable way to see how it could literally change your life, like it has mine. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor doesn't just mask pain temporarily, it helps reduce or eliminate pain. In fact, the longer you take it, the more effective it is. Trying it couldn't be easier with their 3-week quick start for only $19.95, less than $1 a day. And it just takes a phone call to 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. 1-800-4-RELIEF. Wherever you're having pain, every day you feel better is a day you live better. Try Relief Factor's 3-week quick start. Visit ReliefFactor.com. That's ReliefFactor.com. Or call 1-800-4-RELIEF, 800-4-RELIEF for Relief Factor. Hi, it's Mike Gallagher inviting you to join me on the Patriots Alaska Cruise this summer, along with Larry Elder, Joe Piscopo, Jennifer Horn. Enjoy Alaska's breathtaking beauty like never before. Text the keyword travel to 94878 to reserve your stateroom today. This luxury trip is your chance to experience majestic scenery, patriotism, adventure. We sail August 16th through the 23rd. Reserve your stateroom today. Text travel to 94878. That's travel to 94878.
Jeff Tishlar, author of High Tech versus the Highest Tech, has shared his knowledge of the spectacular things that we see in nature, as opposed to what man has created, and how this should inform one's faith. Jeff served on the mission field all over the world and has created this highly illustrated and concisely written technical book. The easy-to-read format is understood from the youngest reader to the most intelligent and mature readers. Google and Amazon book reviews include, "This is the best little book I have ever read. It is amazing how much information is in this book." And a beautifully written and illustrated book. The author has a gift for describing complicated technical details in a very understandable style. This book is available now in paperback on Amazon. Search High Tech versus the Highest Tech by Jeff Tishlar. 100% of proceeds go to missions. That's High Tech vs. the Highest Tech by Jeff Tishlar.
Portions of the following show may be pre-recorded.
AM 560, The Answer.
Prepare to have your mind opened. The lies of the mainstream media are about to be exposed, and the hypocrisy of the left is about to be revealed. This is a revolution in how you think about politics, race, and culture. You've tuned into Black and Right with John Anthony.
I'm coming in hot. Yeah, coming in hot, just like the fajita. I write what I live, my life in the speaker. I'm nice with the flow.
Welcome back. Hour 2 of Black and White Radio on AM 560 The Answer, Chicago, 92.7 and AM 1400 Detroit. Before the break, if you missed that first hour, first of all, head over to 560theanswer.com, download the podcast. And if you're in Detroit, also head over to theanswerdetroit.com, download the Detroit's Morning Answer podcast. You can listen to the show no matter where you are, whenever you want. But before the break, in the first hour, we were discussing House Bill 2827, the so-called homeschool bill. We were talking to Will Estrada. Will, we got a caller from Hyde Park, Chicago, who has a question for you. Kenneth, welcome to Black and Right.
Hey, thank you, Mr. John Anthony. Long-time listener, first-time caller to your show. I'm a homeschool parent and a graduating law student. I was just on a call last night with homeschool families, and they brought up Will Estrada's name, so glad to know that you have him on. Here's the question I've been wondering, and it has to do with the school code, section 27.9. I'm wondering if we're going to have to teach all the things that are in the school code. For instance, 27-9.1 says identity means people's understanding of how they identify as their sexual orientation and their gender identity. And then there's another section that talks about comprehensive and critical sex health education that goes into intersex, bisex, and all of the things. And I'm just wondering, are we going to be forced as homeschool parents, and in what way will we be forced to, bring all of that information that's in the school code now into our homeschool curriculum?
Kenneth, that's a great question. Many people homeschool because of their concern with what's being taught in the public schools. There's good news and bad news. The good news is HB 2827 does not tell homeschoolers what they need to teach. So if it passes, there's going to be, at least for now, no mandates on how you teach your kids. Here's the bad news. If HB 2827 passes, it's going to open the door to further regulation. The way it's written gives almost unlimited authority to the Illinois State Board of Education and really creates a framework for future bills, next year, year after, to come and add even more regulations. There's language in section 905 that says, this is on page 12 of the bill, the State Board of Education may adopt any rules necessary to implement and administer this act. So not only could future legislatures come in and put more rules in, there could be unelected bureaucrats doing this simply by regulatory fiat.
Kenneth, you got a follow up?
Yeah, I mean, that's helpful, but it's also scary, like you said, that there's going to be the doors wide open. My follow-up is about the criminal penalties that are here. When I read that 10 days, I just thought that, like, I mean, you could get sick. You could get the 10 days go so fast. Is there anything else in the school code with such a quick, like fast acting and such a stringent penalty? I mean, up to 30 days in jail for not filing paperwork with 10 days to act on that. I mean, you could. So I can think of any number of things that could happen that would cause you to be delayed for 10 days. A death in the family,
and I mean,
things like that.
You are absolutely right, Kenneth. In fact, nationwide, the trend has been to try and find more ways to kind of get people off the criminal conviction pathway if their kids are truant, to kind of work with them. Let's face it, though, Illinois public schools in Chicago and all across Illinois have a massive truancy problem. But these are not homeschoolers.
Yeah.
These are kids who are still enrolled in their local public school. They're just not showing up. Those are the people we should be helping, not trying to prosecute, but helping support them. This bill is going to hurt those kids because now you'll have thousands more children added to the rosters of people who need to be supervised by the truancy officers instead of kids who are still enrolled in the public school, still on the registers of the public school, and who need help.
Wow. Kenneth, you got to call in more.
I'll do that, John.
I like talking to Kenneth.
Yeah, I love talking to Kenneth. Kenneth, those were some awesome questions, and I really appreciate you not only supporting but also calling in and bringing clarity to the situation that's at hand. Because, you know, I always say, you give an inch, they'll take a country mile. So I don't give an inch, homeschoolers, parents. I'm talking to you, and if you're listening, get up off the sidelines. Give us a call, 312-642-5600, if you have a question for Will Estrada. Kenneth, thank you so much.
Thank you all.
All right. You may know this person, Will. Linda, is it Scarin? Linda, welcome to Black and Right.
Hi, John. Thanks for all you do. Hello, Will. It's Linda Scarin.
Scarin,
How are you
yes.
doing?
I know
Linda,
who you are.
good to hear your voice again.
Yes. Well, you know, Will was talking about filling out witness slips and that there are over 18,000 witness slips opposing this bill. I'd like to thank all 18,000 of you and to let you know that if this bill is reassigned, you get to fill them out again because they delete all of those witness slips if it's reassigned to a different date. So be on the alert and be ready to fill them out again.
Wait, Linda, as I served there, I was a state representative.
Yes.
Let me tell you also, if they change the bill number, you'll have to do it as well. So I mean, they'll take this language and put it on a bill in the Senate too that's already passed the House and send it over to the Senate. I mean, the way they operate down there in the General Assembly is just insane. But I'll tell you this: you talk about witness slips. If you can get people from their district, you can go to Springfield all you want. But bring as many homeschool parents who live in the district of that state representative to their district office. You want to start moving this needle? Send people. I don't care what party they belong to, Democrat or Republican. You organize groups of people to come to their district and do it every single day until you see that this bill is being taken off or tabled. That's how you really move legislators in Springfield.
Thank you, John. We are ready to do that.
Yeah, and Linda, you are doing great work. Thank you. You know, John Anthony, one of the interesting things is
thanks, Linda.
Homeschooling is not really a Republican or Democrat issue, and it's because it's parents who love their children. It might be they don't like what's being taught. It might be they like what's being taught in the public schools, but their kids were being bullied. It might be their kids are falling behind or more gifted and they need something more tailored. And remember that as you're talking to the legislators, as you're talking to your friends, this is about parents being able to have the freedom to do what's best for their kids. We might be different colors, different political stripes, different socioeconomic status, but we all love our kids. And this bill starts to take that freedom away from just moms and dads and families and putting it in the hands of the public education system. They've got their hands full of public schools. I'm not a hater on public schools. My dad spent 37 years as a New York State special ed teacher, but they've got to focus on those public school kids. Let's let the homeschoolers and the private schoolers do what they're doing best.
Yeah, I agree. Let's go to the phone lines. John from Marengo. John, you got a question for Will?
I do. So
I've always been, for the elimination of the, federal, Board of Education or however Department of Education. But me being an Illinois resident, and how the federal government is now, I almost trust it more than my state government. So should I almost be rooting against getting rid of the Federal Board of Education right now, or Department of Education?
That's a great question.
Oh, wow.
That's a great question. Well, I'll hand that off to you.
Oh, man, I was wanting to hear your opinion, John Anthony.
Well, you know what? He is right, because when you look at how the state of Illinois handles education, I do think there's going to be some problems. But you know what that means? That means the people who don't vote, who get out there and just allow this government to run roughshod over them, the only way you change something is to win elections. And that's how the people that vote for this bill, if you haven't voted in a long time, we have so many gun owners, so many different groups that don't vote. And it shows up in these off-year elections. That's how we change that. John, that's how we'll be able to change that. We have to get out and we have to win elections to ensure that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I feel like I've always wanted this until now it is. I thought about it a second time, and I'm like, we got J.B. Pritzker. Come on.
Yeah. Well, we got to send.
I think
go ahead.
I would also add, Washington, D.C., Trump is in there now. There's going to be someone else, maybe from a different political party down the road. So eliminating the U.S. Department of Education would actually cut out the middleman. There'd be more funds available for public education. It would go straight to the states from Congress.
Yep.
I used to work as a career federal employee at the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Our old documents were from the Health, Education, and Welfare Department. I mean, we could run a lot of this through other agencies and free up funds to go to the local schools.
All right. Thank you so much, John.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you.
John, thanks so much for calling. Will, I just want to get into the last thing, and I'll let you go. You were a homeschooler. You got it, sir. You were a homeschooler as well. I want you to tell the story about that and the importance of homeschooling when we get back.
This week on Capitol Hill is the best way to get informed on everything going on with Congress. Hosted by Tony Perkins and the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson.
There's no daylight between the Senate and the House. The media has been trying to divide the two chambers, trying to divide Republicans against one another. We're not having that. We're all on exactly the same team. We all want to check each of these boxes.
Stay informed and become a regular listener. This week on Capitol Hill. Sundays at 1 on AM 560. The Answer.
A great smile can make you feel happy and confident. So when you consciously conserve your teeth, that glowing smile will show through. At Best Dental Group, Doctors Economos, Gabe Alice, and their staff are ready to help you create that perfect look or maintain the one you have now. Along with general dentistry, Best Dental Group is a multidiscipline practice with an orthodontist, periodontist, and prosthetic specialists on site. They use the newest breakthroughs in dental technology such as titanium implants, Invisalign clear braces, and laser treatments. Don't let fear get in the way. They can recommend sedation to make your experience as comfortable as possible. Best Dental Group is located in historic downtown Bartlett and is a multilingual office. Call 630-830-4930, 630-830-4930, or visit bestdental.org. Best Dental Group, sharing your conservative values and helping you to conserve your teeth.
MyPillow is excited to announce that they're having the first ever mega sale on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save over 50% on this season's flannel sheets. Queen size only $59.98, kings only $69.98. They sell out fast every year, so order now. Save 30% on their brand new My Crosses. They're designed in the likeness of the one Mike has worn every day for 20 years. They come in men's and women's, and they're made right here in the USA. Get the 2025 6-piece My Towel sets for only $29.98. The initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. And the best-selling standard MyPillow, just $14.98. To take advantage of the first ever mega sale, go to MyPillow.com or call 800-489-0201. That's 800-489-0201 and use promo code LIBERTY. But wait, remember that $75 free shipping rule? Well, that ship has sailed because right now every order ships absolutely free. MyPillow.com, promo code LIBERTY.
Why do so many companies count on Riverdale Plating and Heat Treating? Consistent high level of quality, an ISO certified and A2LA accredited heat treating, electroplating, fastener sorting, and packaging job shop. Riverdale Plating and Heat Treating meets and exceeds client specifications. Whether a high volume or a small production run, their processes ensure a job well done. Celebrating their 15th anniversary this year, they specialize in metal fasteners and stampings for automotive and other industries. And with a newly expanded sorting department, there are many sorting and packaging options to meet your needs. Riverdale Plating and Heat Treating serves customers in Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, Ohio, Wisconsin, and Tennessee, with easy access to all forms of transportation from an automated facility in Riverdale, Illinois, just 15 minutes southwest of Chicago. Want consistent quality? Call Riverdale Plating and Heat Treating, 708-849-2050, or visit riverdalePHT.com.
This is Black and Right with John Anthony.
Get up, get on up, get up, get on up.
Welcome back to Black and Right. Before we continue our discussion with Will Estrada, let's go to the phone lines. Eduardo, what's up, brother? You've been holding for quite some time, so I want to get you.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, a couple of quick things here. North Korea is about to have a submarine in 1 or 2 years.
Yeah.
10 missiles on it. Possibly Russia helped them in exchange to getting missiles for the fight against Ukraine.
Of course.
And also, it's sad to hear about that New York police officer. One of them was injured, but one of them died. So
in the shooting?
So, yeah, and a 14-year-old was involved in it.
I thought that was New Jersey. You sure that wasn't New Jersey?
Yeah, it was in New Jersey. Yeah.
30 shots he sent off.
Yeah, they confronted a group and they fired at the police, so it's pretty sad about that.
That truly is, man. Oh my God, that's.
Yeah.
I just found some news out. Somebody I know committed suicide just now.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Oh man.
Thanks, Eduardo. Appreciate it, man.
Okay, John. Have a good week.
All right. Bye. Will, we got another caller. He's also a sponsor of my program. Jimmy Conamos from Best Dental. Jim, you had a question for Will, and you had a statement, correct?
Well, basically, I signed one of those witness slips as well, and school choice. The Democrats are only pro-choice in one aspect. Everything else, you can't have a choice in the matter. But also, the elections are very important because in Kane County, for example, they want to impose for the first time a sales tax countywide because the Democrats took over the board in 2020 and is spending all the money. And just like the California wildfires, there's nothing in the reservoirs. We don't want an economic reservoir in Kane County.
Yeah.
And people have to come out and vote against it and have these people be fiscally responsible like it was when Lawson was still in charge.
That's true. That's a good point.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's just nuts. So, and when the same thing with DuPage County, these Democrats come in, they take over, they spend the money, they don't give a damn about anything. So people have to get up, good people, and just like the lady who's running for the mayor of Sleepy Hollow, people have to get up and rise to the occasion and get rid of this deadwood. These people get involved; they're like cockroaches and never go away. So we have to get anti-cockroach medication and get them out.
All right, Jim. Thank you so much. But Will, you were a homeschooler. You were homeschooled by your parents. Talk to us a little bit about your story of being homeschooled, because one of the things that they're talking about, and I think the reason why they want a foothold, because they're saying that they want to protect the children. Remember, and I got to say it this way, but with the left, it's always about we got to protect the children. It just depends on what that protection looks like, because a lot of them, they're saying that they want a foothold. So they can know that kids are not being sexually molested and things of that nature. Is that homeschooling? Is that what happens in homeschooling?
No. Let me tell you a little bit about my story. So my dad spent 37 years as a special ed teacher. I'm the oldest of 8. My mom gave up her career at IBM to stay home and homeschool us. And homeschooling, it's not easy. It's not for every family, although any family can do it. But when you do that sacrifice of sending that letter to the local school district saying I'm withdrawing my child to homeschool him or her, you're doing it because of love. It's work, but it is so rewarding. I am so grateful to my parents for homeschooling myself and my 7 siblings. My wife and I homeschool our 2 boys in Northern Virginia. Let me just address the abuse and neglect issue. Abuse and neglect are horrific crimes. There are laws against them. In our country, what we do is we don't punish people in advance. You don't have to get permission, John Anthony, of what you're going to say from the government before you go on the radio. No. But if you do a defamation or if you cause, terror attack, yes, then you'll be prosecuted. Right. And the same way for families raising their children. You don't need to seek permission from the government to do it. We don't have government monitors coming into homes. But if you do something wrong, throw them in prison, lock them up, throw away the key if someone harms a child. That's what this really comes down to. Yeah. I don't know why they're going after loving families. They should be going after, the sex abuse in Chicago public schools. They should be going after the people who are abusing and neglecting their kids. Tragically, there's enough of them, and the authorities have their hands full prosecuting them.
Well, the same reason why they go after good guys with guns. I mean, it's about their power, their lust for power and control over the citizenry, and they don't really. I slurred that. But they don't understand that we don't work for them; they work for us. It's we the people. We have the power, and I'm doing everything I can as I get on these airwaves 6 days a week now. To educate people to understanding the power that they have and stop just relenting it to government and allowing government to run roughshod just all over our constitutional rights. But, people are so busy, but they don't realize they're going to be so busy and they're going to wake up with no rights.
Well, I am so glad you're showing people the truth, John Anthony. Can I just read you one quote on this issue?
Yeah,
really
please,
short.
Please.
It's from Parham versus JR. This was the United States Supreme Court case in 1979, and here's what the court said. Quote, the statist notion that governmental power should supersede parental authority in all cases because some parents abuse and neglect children is repugnant to American tradition, end quote. That was the U.S. Supreme Court in 1979. That's what this battle for HB 2827 comes down to.
Well, Will Estrada, you're from the Homeschool Legal Defense Association. How can people get in contact with you guys if they find out there's something issues, they have more questions from what we were able to answer today, and they just want to, give you guys a call? How can people get in contact with you?
3 ways. You want to find out more about homeschooling and HSLDA, visit www.hslda.org. You want to stay abreast of what's going on with HB 2827, go to our social media. We're on X, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, just HSLDA. And then to find out specifically about this bill, go to hslda.org/HB 2827.
Will Estrada, thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it. I wanted to give you more time because I just felt like we had to rush through on yesterday because it was pretty much just a 20-minute segment. And this is a very important issue as it relates to education, as it relates to our kids, and as it relates to pushing back against government. This is a true opportunity for people to learn how to push back against a very tyrannical government, in my opinion. Will Estrada.
Thank you, John Anthony. Thank you for the time.
All right. Thank you so much. It's Will Estrada. Thanks so much for joining us. We were only supposed to spend the first 30 minutes on this issue, but excuse me. This is a very important issue, in my opinion, and I just hope parents wake up. I do. I really just hope parents begin to wake up and see the direction that not only this state but this country. They woke up federally. Will they wake up from a state perspective and realize we need people in power that believe in empowering the people? Because if we continue to elect leaders who think they can do whatever they want without any consequence, Illinois, I'm still of the belief that Illinois has an opportunity. There's a chance to restore and bring back Illinois. Call me naive, call me what you want. I still believe that. I believe it because I believe in the people. That's why. The only way we make Illinois great again is if we ignite that passion, that fervor in the people, that they begin to understand that nothing will change until they change it. Stop looking for listen, you are the change. You are the Calvary. You want to see Illinois go from the worst in almost every economical statistic or anything that can be measured. You want to see Illinois shift and change and become a state that it once was, that only happens if you get involved. We have a gubernatorial election coming up. And no, for all those people out there who were screaming and yelling at me, sending me text messages saying, what the heck is happening? No, I am not running for anything. No, I'm not the person that Sheriff James Mindrick picked. No, that's not me. I'm not him. So while I'm getting all these texts from people, no. But I will, what I will do is continue to educate, and I'll bring on anybody that's willing to run for office to shift and change the direction of the state, because it's important for Illinois to be at the top in every field. And we have to protect our kids. Aren't you tired of seeing so many of your friends leave to go to Florida, Texas, Tennessee? Why can't we have what they have there here? We can. But the only way we do that is if you get up off I can't say the word. That's the only way. You get off that donkey. Get off of it and get to work. Come out and vote. Support. Have fundraiser for people that you believe in. That's the only way we shift and change out of this. I got to give a speech coming up on Tuesday, I believe. I can't wait. I really can't, because I'm excited. I'm excited about Illinois because I'm excited about you. We'll be right back.
Larry Elder explains the real problem.
It's not about the deficit. The deficit is just the gap between how much money the government takes in and how much it spends. You can close that by simply raising taxes. The real issue is the size, scope, and intrusiveness of government. And I've said this before, can't do this now politically or even morally. But at some point, Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid have to be addressed.
The Larry Elder Show. Weeknights at 8, right before Sean Hannity at 10 on AM 560. The Answer.
Fox News, I'm Jack Callahan. Iran rejects President Trump's invitation to negotiate a nuclear deal, saying there can be no talks until sanctions are lifted. The president telling Fox's Maria Bartiromo there is an or else in his offer.
I hope that Iran, and I've written him a letter saying I hope you're going to negotiate, because if we have to go in militarily, it's going to be a terrible thing for them.
A White House National Security Council spokesman saying in a statement today, we hope the Iranian regime puts the people and its best interests ahead of terror. Police officer in New Jersey made the ultimate sacrifice last night, killed during a shootout in Newark.
New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy said in a post on X, please pray for these officers, their families, and all our men and women in uniform who put their lives on the line to keep us safe.
Fox's Madeline Rivera. America is listening to Fox News.
Imagine using your skills and experiences to inspire young minds. We see the teacher in you. No matter your starting point, we can help you become a teacher. Teaching offers consistent pay, a pension, and summers off. Learn how you can be the teacher. Visit BeTheTeacher.org. Sponsored by Grow Your Own Teachers, Illinois.
She's gone from reporting on the sidelines to making sense of the headlines. It's the Michelle Tafoya podcast.
The media is trying to lampoon this group. Yes, they are. They're calling them a bunch of 19-year-olds in hoodies. People go to war as soon as they're 18. You're okay with that. But a 19-year-old genius trying to help the Treasury save money? Oh, God forbid.
Subscribe to the Michelle Tafoya podcast today on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, Rumble, or at SalemPodcastNetwork.com.
Hi, I'm Ken Mariotti, owner of Woodland Windows and Doors, a third-generation family-owned business since 1969. We know you're bombarded by choices when shopping for new windows or doors, so we're inviting you to experience the Woodland difference. For decades, we have been transforming living spaces with Marvin Windows, a fifth-generation family business. Marvin replacement windows have been known to increase the warmth of your cold rooms by 10 degrees. Think about that, 10 degrees warmer. When you welcome Woodland into your home, you will get a product expert to transform your living spaces, full-time, dedicated professional installers that you can trust in your home, along with the best products like Marvin. These are the reasons we're proud of our 5-star reviews and family legacy. No gimmicks, no pressure, and upfront pricing are why Woodland Windows and Doors is your trusted window and door expert in Chicagoland. Visit woodlandwindows.com to book your free in-home expert consultation. That's woodlandwindows.com, or stop by our showroom at the corner of Lake and Geary in Roselle.
So how's the separation going? Are you guys able to work things out?
No. I think we're headed for divorce.
That sucks. Gonna be an expensive legal battle?
Well, no, that's one thing we agree on, actually. Arbitration.
Arbitration? Like mediation?
Sort of, but better. We'll have a firm decision.
Oh, that's easier. Who's your arbitrator?
Bert Hochberg.
That attorney at Schiller, DeCanto, and Fleck?
Yeah, senior partner. Comes highly recommended.
Are you facing divorce or a family law issue? Burton S. Hochberg offers arbitration services, a dispute resolution process that will save you time, money, and the complexity of litigation. Let Burton hear and resolve your claims with choices that best suit you and yours. To discuss, call Bert directly, or even better, have your attorney call Bert at 773-255-6150. That's 773-255-6150. Again, 773-255-6150. No one knows arbitration like Bert Hochberg. Why go through a difficult divorce? Call Bert at Schiller, DeCanto, and Fleck, Chicago's preeminent family law firm since 1981.
Attention American homeowners, you're under attack. Your home and equity could be vulnerable to cyber thieves. There's only one company that completely stops them, and that company is Equity Protect. Equity Protect prevents any attempts to steal your home, equity, and ownership 24/7. Get your free risk report today by texting the word HOME to 94878. That's right, text the word HOME to 94878 to get your free risk report. Keep your equity and legacy safe with Equity Protect.
You can hear this today at PragerTopia.com.
It is time to take your calls on whatever, truly whatever is on your mind.
You talked a while back about the Jewish law that says that as a Jew, you are not supposed to drink wine that's poured by a non-Jew. Did I get it correct?
Correct. That's an Orthodox law. Correct.
Okay. So is that something that's in the Bible?
Hear the entire episode. It's for Pragertopia members only. Go to PragerTopia.com.
And now, more Black and Right with John Anthony.
Welcome back to Black and Right Radio. You know, Tom DeVore just posted something 10 minutes ago. Breaking: students under attack. Democrats propose bill to ban teaching history classes immediately. Demands new books to be developed and then restart history teachings in 2026. That is DEI focus. This crap is what happens when the Democrats know Republicans are feckless and powerless. Guys, when you look at what some of the stuff, and I know a lot of it is press pop, for their constituents, to show their constituents that they're listening to them, and they create bills and file bills, knowing that it's not going anywhere. But this is the type of bill that could possibly go somewhere. I mean, they doubling down. The left doubling down. Yes, senor. They will double down and do. And because the thing is, when you look at all of the most controversial bills that have been passed here in the state of Illinois, when you look at what happens in Michigan, guys, these are issues that they've put the bill up for years until finally they get the people that's needed to get the bills passed. So they'll continue to file them and file them and file them until somebody says, hey, let's make that law. And Tom is right. What's the backdrop? What do we if I'm Leader Tony McComey in the House, if I'm the Senate Minority Leader Curran in the Senate, I'm getting together all these bills and we're having a major press conference. I would highlight every single one of the stupidity of these bills. That's what I would do. I would send out mailers. Let's go to the phone lines. Glenn from Orlando.
Yeah, hey John. Hope you're doing well. I looked at Trump's Tuesday night speech again. I sat through it again because it was so good, and I started to write things down where the Democrats were sitting for things that he was bringing up. I got 8 of them, but He mentioned a commitment to eliminating government waste of our tax dollars with DOGE. They sat for that.
Yeah.
He mentioned the executive order that bans men from women's sports. They sat for that. He honored Corey Compatore's family.
Yes.
And they sat for that.
Yes.
Mark Fogel, the released educator from Russia, they sat for that. And Stephanie Dillard's husband, the New York police officer that was murdered.
Yes.
They sat for that. These Democrats are soulless. They have no soul.
Well, yeah, of course they don't. Why do you think they're able to do what they do? They could care less, man. And the American electorate, please wake up. It's time to wake up and realize where we're headed. Trump's done in 4 years, folks. Will the America First agenda stick around? Remember, Reagan, when he was done, it took us a long time to get somebody like Reagan willing to say and do what needs to be said and done. In the likes of Donald Trump. That's a great question. Thanks so much, Glenn. Let's go to Jason from Melrose Park. Jason, welcome to Black and Right.
Hey, John, how you doing tonight?
All right. How are you?
Not too bad, man. Hey, I actually met you at Sean's outing at Gaelic Park. I bought you a drink.
Oh, I know who you are. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, hey, I want to first off apologize because I know I was drinking a little bit that night and I might have been annoying to you.
No,
so
you were.
Apologize.
Hey, I never walked away, did I? That's how. Hey, you'll know I'm annoyed when I walk away.
Not.
Yeah. No, I walk away if I'm annoyed. Trust me. It takes a lot to annoy me.
Well, yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. Well, then I'm going to try to annoy you now. But I hear you talking about people running for governor. I want to run for governor.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do it. I would need your help. I need Sean's help, but I got a lot of good ideas, man. I mean, the first thing we got to do is revamp this whole welfare system because, the situation is that people adjust their lifestyles to be able to continue to receive benefits for the rest of their life. That's not what the system was set up for. I want to revamp that. I want to also impose an educational type system to help these people get off on their feet and get a job and be productive members of society and pay their taxes. I want to do that.
What I'm looking.
I want to do.
Hey, Jason. One of the things that I want to see and hear from a Republican governor. John Cabello has filed a bill. State Representative John Cabello has filed a bill to introduce DOGE to Illinois. That's very important for me. I want to hear a Republican governor speaking in that tone. I want to hear a Republican governor that's not afraid to speak to the Democrat Party and their insanity. That's who I want. I want a Republican governor that's not afraid to speak Trumpian. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry.
Well, I was just going to say, I'm Trump 3.0. I don't care. You don't like what I got to say? I don't really care because this is the way it's going to be. And I'll tell you another thing I'm going to campaign on. If you pay off your mortgage, no more property tax.
Well,
Isn't it the American dream to own property, to own land? Why is it that you spend all these years, 30 years paying off a mortgage, right? And you fall on some hard times and they can take your property away because you can't pay your taxes. So I'm going to introduce when you pay off your mortgage, no more property tax.
Hey.
That land is yours.
Hey, we got to go to break, but I'm going to tell you, Senator Neil Anderson has already introduced that bill. And I agree with it 1,000%. Mark, Tom, hold the line. We'll take your calls when we get back. You're listening to Black and Right with John Anthony.
Welcome back to Ask Hassellus. I'm Weston. What's your question?
I'm sick of winter. When is spring coming?
Today.
Excuse me?
Just purchase your new Beauty Rest, Serta Perfect Sleeper, or Sealy Posturepedic from Hassellus Mattress today, and we'll give you a free box spring.
Okay, but I'm asking about the arrival of spring.
Oh, that's easy. It arrives tomorrow.
What?
Purchase your new Hassellus mattress today, and we'll deliver your free box spring tomorrow.
Are you the store with no employees?
Test our full line of Sealy Posturepedic, Beauty Rest, and Serta Perfect Sleeper without salespeople breathing down your neck, and save a ton of cash.
How much?
Others sell a Beauty Sleep by Beauty Rest Elm Cove B Queen mattress for $16.50, but the everyday Hassellus price is just $8.42. And we have way low pricing on Sealy Posturepedic and Serta Perfect Sleeper too.
Plus a free box spring?
Yes.
Looks like spring's coming early this year.
Open 9 to 9. Find your employee-free Chicagoland showroom at Hassellus.com.
I should have done it sooner.
Hi, Amy Jacobson here, and that's what a number of people say to me when they come up and talk to me about QC Kinetics. Why did I wait so long? So let me ask you a question to see if whether or not you're a good candidate for QC Kinetics. Do you have trouble sleeping, walking, day-to-day movement? Do you want to avoid surgery and all the pain, the long recovery, and the uncertainty that comes with it? Do you miss doing things like golfing, jogging, playing pickleball? Well, if you answered yes to any of these questions, I bet you're a great candidate. So please don't wait. Contact our good friends at QC Kinetics right now and ask for your free consultation. Learn how the latest advances in regenerative medicine can help you and give you lasting pain relief with no drugs, no surgery, no downtime. Saturday appointments available. Call 312-809-5955. That's 312-809-5955. Again, 312-809-5955.
Maha starts with Virago, making America healthy again. With the worst flu season in years, you need an immune system boost. The stronger your immune system, the stronger your body fights and defends against and. So get Virago. Virago Immune Enhancement Support is a unique blend of 23 nutraceuticals, ingredients that have been available as individual nutraceuticals, but now working in synergy to maximize their effects. Recommended by medical physicians, dentists, and other healthcare professionals, Virago is the nutraceutical cocktail for immune support. Developed to strengthen your immune system for quick response to immune challenges, for short and long-term immunity, antiviral, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant. It even protects your heart, kidneys, liver, all in a unique liquid supplement for better absorption. Order online at myvirago.com. That's myvirago.com. myvirago.com. Use coupon code IMMUNE to save 30%. Quality ingredients for optimum health. Maha. Making America healthy again starts with Virago.
Black and Right continues. Once again, here's John Anthony.
Welcome back to Black and Right. Let's head over to the phone lines. Mark from Oakland.
John, thanks for taking my call. I love your show.
Thank you.
You hit on so many good points, and you're really fair to the people that call. You know, you give them all a chance to talk, and you like to hear both sides, which is awesome. I'm just calling about that guest that you had on the HB 2827 bill, and you think about it. The government, Illinois, Pritzker, he's trying to put this to deny it for one reason, because it's all about the teachers union and an inferior education to the people of Illinois. And when you get this inferior education, you're not smart, and that's what he wants. He wants people not to be able to think for themselves. He wants people that are relying on him, and it's really a form of discrimination, but what makes our country great is competition.
Yeah.
And capitalism it's an awesome thing because it gives a person a chance to work as hard as they want and go out and earn what they want. But Pritzker doesn't believe in that. He just wants control of the state. He doesn't want the people to have any critical thinking. We got to rally up against this Pritzker. And you think about it, $132 billion teacher pension underfunded. There's no funds for it. We're paying $3 billion a year in interest alone on payments. If anyone had any common sense, they would think these people are out of their minds.
That is so true. That is so true, Mark. Yeah. It's unfortunate. Yeah. I mean, but you know what? The truth of the matter is people don't check in until it's time to vote. When you think about it, people really don't check in until it's time to vote because life is busy for a lot of people. And then whatever they see on the televisions, that's what they believe. That's why on this show we point out these type of things because people need to be educated when they go into that ballot box. And they just
John, if these people, these government officials, if they ran a business and they were billions of dollars in debt like that, they'd be in jail forever. And there's no accountability with Pritzker. He's too busy eating donuts.
All right. Thanks, Mark. I appreciate the call, man.
All right, John.
Thanks for listening. Tom from Blue Island. What's up, brother?
Johnny, how are you, buddy?
Yeah, I'm a little ticked right now. That's how I'm doing.
So, Johnny, to what the gentleman just said, of course there's no accountability for Pritzker. to the left, government is their God.
Yep.
Lisa Longo turned me on to a Sunday morning 7 a.m. show on AM 560, which I've listened to the last few weeks, which is incredible. It gives you up. It's spiritual. It's uplifting. They don't care about that. Their spirit comes from government, and they play the long game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, did Trump win? He did. But one of my greatest and best friends, Lisa McKinstry, that owns Riverdale Plating, that has commercials on, when we were at the the restaurant when we listened to the inauguration, I was a little fired up, and she said, "What are you so fired up over?" She said, "We won. It's over." I said, "Lisa, it's not over. To these people, government and power is all they have."
Yes.
To Republicans and conservatives, they're out raising families, they're running businesses, they're trying to lead better lives, religious lives. These people, to them, religion is their life. It's a hard uphill battle, John, and it's always going to be hard to win, and the fight can never end, sir.
Hey, Tom, listen to this. I was listening on the way in. I was listening to the progressive station, and this guy that the host had on, he talked about how there was a call of all the interested parties in the Democrat Party and how they're all trying to scramble to figure out how do they come together to win? How do they speak to the very far left of their party to say, listen, if we continue to go the way that you want us to go, we can't win again. When you think about that what they're doing, dude, they know they're not in power on the federal level, and they are going to do whatever it takes to win because they know they understand power. I'm just going to tell you, they understand it a little bit better than us because we get in power and we get afraid of making decisions, unlike exempting Donald Trump, because Donald Trump understands power as well. But the left, listen, that's why I don't get mad at a person like J.B. Pritzker signing legislation the way he does. If Republicans ever got back in power, to hell with what people say. Do what needs to be done to bring Illinois back, Tom.
But, Johnny, Rush Limbaugh used to speak about how these people have to be defeated.
Yes.
There's too much of a mentality on the right of getting on an equal footing. The right is never going to be on an equal footing with the left because of the way the left operates. Gentlemen like yourself, Sean Thompson, Dan Proft, you guys are out operating your businesses, you're taking care of your families, you're running your lives when you're not doing the great work that you guys are doing. These people aren't doing that. Right. The people on the left, like J.B. Pritzker, what's J.B. Pritzker in search of? He's in search of a legacy. He's got the money. He's a fat tub of you-know-what. All he cares about is he can now say, I'm Governor Pritzker. You saw what he was willing. He would have given Blagojevich $1 billion to be a senator. That's the difference. All they care about is power. While gentlemen like yourselves and other conservatives are out there living lives, being great Americans.
All right, Tom. Thank you. We'll be right back.
When you hear the term living better, what do you think about? More money, a bigger house, maybe a yacht? What about how you feel physically? How do you wake up each day? How do you sleep during the night? What activities you can and cannot do? When you feel good, life is good. So if pain is affecting your life, see how Relief Factor can help. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally, developed by doctors. It doesn't just mask pain temporarily. It helps reduce or even eliminate pain. How do I know? I absolutely am a customer. I take Relief Factor daily. No lower back pain for me anymore. In fact, the longer you take it, the more effective it is. Give their 3-week quick start a try. It's only $19.95, less than $1 a day. Just one phone call, 800-4-RELIEF, 800-4-RELIEF. Relief Factor, relief wherever you're hurting in 3 weeks or even days. Relief Factor can give you a chance to rediscover the true meaning of living better again. Visit ReliefFactor.com or call 800-4-RELIEF. That's 800-4-RELIEF for the one and only Relief Factor.
We always use M13. They can print anything.
They design and price match. M13 does amazing work.
M13 Graphics has helped make our brand stand out. They're definitely the best for less.
Before M13, amateur. With M13, we look awesome.
M13 Graphics, Chicago's leader in full-color design and printing. Set your business up for success with exceptional print products, turned around in just 24 to 48 hours. Business cards, postcards, posters, banners, brochures, apparel, you name it. M13 will design and print nearly anything for your business. They have the right people in place and a reputation that keeps customers happy and coming back for more. They're a Chicago company that embodies the idea of business integrity. They live it every day. After all, in this country, you're free to do business with who you choose. Respect that freedom. Choose the best. For speedy turnaround, excellent service, and the best pricing in Chicagoland, choose M13 Graphics for all your design and printing. Online at M13.com. Visit M13.com or call now, toll free, 877-M13-1913. That's 877-M13-1913.
It's the show the mainstream media doesn't want you to know about. It's Black and Right with John Anthony.
Welcome back to Black and Right Radio. Now, you guys remember when the left, the media was telling us, as it related to immigration, we need legislation that we don't have the power, we can't do.
Republicans keep saying Biden doesn't need Congress. He can stop what's happening at the border all by himself. Can you fact check that for us? Because we here all know that's not true.
Republicans have been saying, largely wrongly, right, because saying that the president can close the border unilaterally on his own. The president actually doesn't have the authority under law to do that.
There's only so much President Biden can do with executive action, and he did try to do whatever he could.
They actually are doing everything they can.
The president's hands are tied. There's only so much that he can do.
President Biden has issued certain executive orders, but there's only so much he can do within his purview.
What an intractable problem this is for the president with no easy solutions. No easy solutions here.
There are no easy solutions here, folks.
The president.
Well, there are easy solutions, and Donald Trump spoke to this at his speech.
The media and our friends in the Democrat Party kept saying we needed new legislation. We must have legislation to secure the border. But it turned out that all we really needed was a new president.
That's simple. It really was that simple. What the border and crossings, when you look at how far down they've gone thus far since Donald Trump's been in office, I mean, there's rarely a border crossing illegally right now. You know why? Because when you have a solid leader in place, willing to do the job, the actual job, and allowing the Border Patrol to actually do their job, what we taxpaying dollars go to allow them to do the job that they were hired to do. When you don't just catch and release people who come here illegally. Listen, okay, I hear you. I hear that left crowd over there. Oh, you're against immigration. No, I'm against illegal immigration. I'm against illegal immigration. We pay for that. You heard Brandon Johnson, or you didn't hear him because he couldn't answer the question. Mayor Adams answered all the questions as it related to the money, what they're going to do as it relates to working with the federal administration. But we can't. But here in Chicago, Cook County, they're not. I'm sorry. If I was a sheriff in the state of Illinois, you know what I would tell the state government? Blow me. Can I say that on air? I don't know if I can say that on air. But that's what I would say. That's exactly what I would say. Because guess what? Tom Homan would be in my jail. If I was the sheriff, he would be in my jail. If we had anybody in my jail who was charged with a crime, I would allow Tom Homan and ICE to come into my jail and get them out, because you know what? Taxpayers are paying for that. I remember when I filed Dennis Rebeletti's bill, the rapid repatriation, the rapid repat bill, that anybody that was in our state prison, we will send them home on a plane. Because of the amount of money that we were spending housing them in our state penitentiary, state jails, was way more than a simple plane ticket back home. And guess what? It wasn't just Mexicans, guys. I know the left likes to make it just about Mexicans as it relates to people who are here illegally in our country, but it's bigger than just Mexicans. People forget that even in Michigan, that long border that we have north of us, that crosses several states. People want to forget about that. We have a lot of people who are not Mexican that cross that border illegally. Yeah, we do. And I want the men and women of ICE. I want Tom Homan, who's actually acting as the border czar, to do your freaking jobs. Because of the billions of dollars, the hundreds of billions of dollars that have had to be spent to tackle this issue. This is why I'm in love with Doge. I want a Doge in every single state in the United States of America. You want more money? Trump is offering you the ability to do so. Take him up on it instead of raising your cane. Hour 3 coming up next.
While Dennis Prager is recuperating, we know you miss your daily dose of Dennis. That's why Pragertopia is giving you a special gift. Right now, Pragertopia members can hear the best 2 hours of Dennis's favorite segments from as far back as 2010. On Monday, you can hear the Happiness Hour.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's what I'm about.
Tuesday is Celebrity Guest Day.
Donald Trump Jr. is in studio with me.
On Wednesday, it's the Male-Female Hour.
I really do wish there were a way to ascertain the number of marriages that this hour has helped.
Thursday, the Ultimate Issues Hour.
Not having ultimate issues clarity is like having a map, but you don't know where you're going.
And Friday is Open Lines.
Feel free to ask me anything about me, about you, about life.
So if you're missing your daily dose of Dennis, go to Pragertopia.com and hear all your favorite segments, along with lectures, celebrity interviews, his famous Torah teachings, and more. Get your daily dose of Dennis at Pragertopia.com. Pragertopia.com.
News, opinion, insight. This is AM 560, The Answer. WIND, Chicago. Streaming at 560theanswer.com on the AM 560 mobile app, or tell your smart speaker to play The Answer.
Avoid the shutdown. I'm Jack Callahan, Fox News. That plea from President Trump today, a social media post urging Congress to approve the spending bill that would avoid a government shutdown, as Fox's Lucas Tomlinson reports from the White House.
Ahead of a possible government shutdown, President Trump urging Republicans to come together and pass a stopgap measure. Trump posting a short time ago on Truth Social, quote, "The House and Senate have put together under the circumstances a very good funding bill, CR. All Republicans should vote, please, yes, next week. Great things are coming for America, and I'm asking you all to give us a few months to get us through September so we can continue to put the country's financial house in order. Democrats will do anything they can to shut down our government, and we can't let that happen. We have to remain united, no dissent, fight for another day when the timing is right. Very important, make America great again."
House Republican leaders say they're confident they can pass the bill without the Democrats. The government spending authority expires next Friday night. Israel will send a delegation to Doha Monday to continue Gaza ceasefire talks, accepting the invitation from the mediators, according to Prime Minister Netanyahu's office. The Trump administration, meanwhile, holding direct talks with Hamas about the remaining Israeli hostages.
Despite a long-standing American policy against negotiating with terrorist organizations, the White House says an envoy for the president has spoken directly with Hamas looking for a diplomatic solution. All of this as President Trump issued a warning on Truth Social, telling the group to release all the remaining hostages immediately or face destruction. Hamas has responded to the president's latest threat by preparing for another offensive. They say any Israeli military action could lead to the deaths of more hostages.
Fox's Dana Marie McNichols. For the first time since being hospitalized 3 weeks ago, the Vatican says there's been a slight improvement in Pope Francis' condition, but it remains guarded. America's listening to Fox News.
Now, your official weather forecast.
Tonight, breezy this evening, otherwise clear with a low of 31. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, a nice end to the weekend with a high of 57. Tomorrow night, clear with a low of 37. Monday, a warm breeze with plenty of sunshine and a high of 61. Monday night, mainly clear, low 47. Tuesday, times of clouds and sun. We'll see a high of 56. Tuesday night, partly cloudy, low 42. I'm Jillian Ford on AM 560, The Answer.
Get the latest weather, traffic, and news updates online at 560theanswer.com. All across the country, states are embracing school choice and offering vouchers to families to send students to whichever school they want, including private Christian schools. Illinois, however, has resisted this trend, despite all the benefits of private education. Well, we have a solution. ChicagolandSchoolVouchers.com. It's simple. Just visit ChicagolandsSchoolVouchers.com and tell us which private school you want to send your child to. Then we contact the school on your behalf and work to secure a voucher for half off the first year of tuition, typically saving thousands of dollars for families. The program only applies to new students who are not currently enrolled in the school. So if you've been considering sending your child to a private school and thought it was financially out of reach, go to ChicagolandsSchoolVouchers.com to learn more and to start the process today. That's ChicagolandsSchoolVouchers.com. Carl Jackson stands up for the America he loves on the Carl Jackson Podcast.
Donald Trump has the authority as the head of the executive branch to fire and to stop payments within the executive branch. Appropriating funds is one thing. Finding corruption and theft is another. We wanted Trump to get rid of waste, fraud, and abuse. Did we know that it was going to be this bad? No.
Subscribe to the Carl Jackson Podcast today on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, Rumble, or at SalemPodcastNetwork.com.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? Yikes. When it comes to Big Wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Here's how to get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Plans start at just $20 a month, and that's not a short-term promo. Our U.S.-based experts will get you switched and saving in about 20 minutes. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit ConsumerCellular.com and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to GoodRx.com/GLP. That's GoodRx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
Portions of the following show may be pre-recorded.
AM 560, The Answer. Prepare to have your mind opened. The lies of the mainstream media are about to be exposed, and the hypocrisy of the left is about to be revealed. This is a revolution in how you think about politics, race, and culture. You've tuned into Black and Right with John Anthony.
I'm coming in hot. Yeah, coming in hot. Just like the fajita. I write what I live. My life in the speaker. I'm nice with the flow.
Welcome back to Black and White Radio on AM 560, The Answer. Okay, Karens, clutch your pearls, because you may be a little bit upset with me about what I'm about to get into and talk about next. As you guys know, Ben Shapiro was asking Donald Trump to pardon the officers involved in the George Floyd case. Karens, are you gone yet? Are the Karens, are the Fields from Blue Islands gone yet? Yeah, because I know, I made a post about it, and the Karens got upset about it. They really did. And I really don't care. And here's the reason why I don't care. That whole federal case was a setup by Keith Ellison, by the left. By Keith Ellison and those people. All I simply said is, are you ready for Trump to commute or pardon Derek Chauvin's federal sentence? I know I am, although his state conviction will still hold. I am on the record as saying that Derek Chauvin, was he a arsling? Grade A. Would I have hung out with Derek Chauvin? No. I don't like him. I don't like his smugness of Derek Chauvin. I bet you he's probably one of the worst people to hang out with. Yeah, I said all that. But he didn't kill George Floyd. I stand by that. You can turn off the radio all you want. The evidence proves it. Oh, yeah, but a bunch of jurors said that he was guilty in Minnesota. Evidence with not being able to be entered into this case by the defense. The police chief lying, saying that the training, Derek Chauvin had never received that. He said that on the stand. He lied. The police chief lied. He did. Most of you don't know George Floyd had drugs in his mouth right before why do you think that whole act? Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. Sorry. That was all in the act, guys. I've seen people do that to me so many different times because he was trying to figure out how to get rid of the drugs that he threw in his mouth. Yeah, but did you know that? Did you know he had drugs in his mouth? Yeah, I bet you didn't. Now, I didn't want to see a man lose his life, George Floyd. George Floyd would have lived had he gotten in the back of that SUV. But no, he didn't. Derek Chauvin's knee was not on his neck. You know, it went from 9 minutes to 8 minutes to 7 minutes. What, you know, they sensationalized this. Dude, the left will use anything to win an election, and they use this. They use this. You know how I know they used it? Weren't we on COVID lockdowns too? And yet we still saw elected officials marching. Yeah. Have any of you seen, the left said that was a very cherry-picked documentary, The Fall of Minneapolis? I dare you to watch it. You remember initially the autopsy report? It talked about George Floyd and all of the ailments he had. I don't want to go into all the ailments. You look it up. He had a lot of ailments. He was a drug addict. He had a very bad heart. And people were flustered. And there was video that they could have released a lot earlier. It would probably calm down. And you know what, the one that irks me the most is the officer who was on crowd control and how they charged him as well. He was doing his freaking job. His job, when you are on crowd, I could tell a lot of you guys have probably never, I mean, first of all, you were never a cop, so you don't understand crowd control and how important it is to have an officer on crowd control. Because that officer or officers that are on crowd control is protecting the scene, protecting the officers. But you would know that because you've never been in that position to have to work crowd control. George Floyd is alive. Had he not went in that store and that guy in that store had not called the police saying that he had a $20 bill that was not real. It was George Floyd and his actions. Nobody wants to put the onus of responsibility on George Floyd. Where was his responsibility in ensuring that he did not die that day? Tell me. You disagree with me? Give me a call, 312-642-5600. I'm seeing people that Trump put in places of as it relates to pardons and all that stuff. Not Alice, but I've seen people saying Trump better not pardon him, and they're thinking that if Trump pardons him, his state conviction will go away. That's not going to happen. I mean, Minnesota is not going to get a Republican governor in some time. And guess what's going to happen? That Republican governor is not going to touch that conviction. What I do want? I want Derek Chauvin and the other three officers to get a new trial, get a change of venue. Do not try them in the city of Minneapolis or St. Paul. And ensure that no Black Lives Matter people are on the jury. Imagine if this was you. Imagine if this was someone you loved. That's the perspective that I'm looking at this from. Imagine if it was you. And the tables were turned on you in this manner. Yeah, I'm not afraid to go there. I'm not afraid to touch third rails. I am not afraid to touch third rails at all. Pull up on me. That man would be alive today. Had he gotten in back of, well, first of all, had he not gone in that store with what was alleged a fake $20 bill. Yeah. So you want to burn up an entire city as Joe Biden said, what did he say? How did he put it? Floyd's influence was greater than Martin Luther King's or something to that effect? Yeah. No, I'm not having it. I'm not having it. These people those officers, especially the three, do what you want to. I think they overcharged. I do. I think they overcharged as it relates to what the charge was. And then Keith Ellison, and then Michael Baden, who the Floyd estate hired to do an independent autopsy. Anybody knows Michael Baden is a shield for the left. Because what did he say? Can you find that audio during the break, Paul? Find the audio of Michael Baden saying that George Floyd was healthy. That alone should have disqualified him. To say that George Floyd was healthy, he was not a healthy individual. He was not. You look at all the litany of drugs that he had in his system. Yeah. You Karen's gone yet? Let's go to the phone lines. Tom from Cherville.
Yeah, John, the toxicology report, and the coroner said it was a fentanyl overdose.
Yep.
But then when the trial happened, it didn't come out.
Nope.
At the trial, so basically, the jurors got it wrong.
Yes. Yeah, it was.
I mean, it's really that simple. It's really that simple. He was the officer was overcharged.
Yeah, but they needed something, and remember, never let a good crisis go to waste.
Oh, I know that. I understand the left wing politics behind the whole thing. I get it, but I'm just trying to stick to the facts.
Yeah, yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you, Tom. I'm totally with you. And there was a lot of in discovery. The judge wouldn't allow them the defense to bring in certain items into the trial.
Exactly. They wouldn't allow that. And so the whole trial itself was skewed, and then the jurors ended up getting it wrong in the end.
And don't forget the guy, his uncle, we would have never known this had his uncle not posted a picture of him to social media with a Black Lives Matter I think they said it was an I Can't Breathe shirt or a Black Lives Matter shirt that he had on. His uncle posted it to social media. And this guy, how the hell did this guy get on that jury?
He shouldn't have been on the jury.
No.
That's the thing, and it's funny. I never got picked for. I haven't even. I've been called for jury service like twice in 35 years, and I never even made it past the first phase.
Right. Well, I wonder why.
I think I'd be a good juror though.
Yeah.
I'm fair.
Yeah. Yeah. See, that's me. I know how to be objective. Even people say you so biased towards cops. No, I know how to be objective.
So do I. You do.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. Well, Tom. Yeah. Tom, we got to go to break. Did you want to hold it? You had a question?
No. I'll let you go to the next caller.
All right. Thank you so much, Tom. You're listening to Black and Right. Karens, I hope you're gone. We'll be right back.
Actions
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House.
have consequences.
The chair now directs the Sergeant at Arms to restore order.
Whether in Congress
That Representative Al Green be censured.
or elsewhere.
There are instances of organizations receiving billions of dollars that had no previous record of doing any type of work.
Someone is going to pay with jail time.
Talk about what it all means.
Taking U.S. citizens will be answered in the toughest way possible.
On AM 560. The Answer.
A decision we made that nobody believed in, that we felt strongly about, was the name change from PM Bedroom Gallery to Penny Mustard.
Ben and Arvid Huth, brothers and owners of Penny Mustard Furnishings.
Well, we knew the name fit right away. Yeah. And I mean, when we saw the name, I'm like, yep, that's it. And you saw the name and you were like, that's it.
Yep.
And we had a key employee that said, I won't even work for a company that has that name. I couldn't even wear a shirt that has that name on it.
But I remember after we announced that, the Journal Sentinel in Milwaukee had ran an article, and then there was a bunch of comments online afterwards. And I remember counting, there was 145 comments. 143 were negative, and some extremely negative.
Yes.
Brutal.
Hate mail.
It was bad.
It was bad. People hated it.
And the other two that weren't negative were like, oh, this is genius. It's got all you guys talking about it.
The other one might have been our mom.
See more at pennymustard.com.
So I guess the moral of the story is, if you know something's right and everybody else says it's not the thing to do,
go with your gut.
Go with your gut. Yep.
This is Larry Elder, inviting you to join me on the Alaska cruise this summer, along with Mike Gallagher, Jennifer Horn, and Joe Piscopo. Enjoy Alaska's breathtaking beauty like never before. Text the word travel to 94878 to reserve your cabin today. This luxury trip is your chance to experience majestic scenery, patriotism, and adventure. We set sail August 16th through the 23rd. Reserve your cabin today. Text travel to 94878. That's travel to 94878.
The following advertisement includes a celebrity impersonation.
You know, nothing beats the comfort of a perfectly heated home.
And when it comes to heating your home, Air Right Heating and Cooling does it the best.
And they love our country. Beautiful people.
Air Right Heating and Cooling is fast. When your furnace breaks down, they'll fix it right away.
Just like that. Big time results. No waiting around. You get the job done right. And let's face it, who doesn't love being warm, right? It's beautiful. When it's freezing, I crank up that amazing furnace. Burn, baby, burn. Trust me, you'll say, wow, I've never felt this warm in my life.
If you like keeping your hard-earned money, then contact Air Right Heating and Cooling and tell them AM 560 sent you to receive $56 off any service.
Unbelievable.
Visit Air Right Heating and Cooling today at AIR-RITE.com. Again, that's AIR-RITE.com. Air Right Heating and Cooling. Doing it right since 1959.
Salem News Channel is America's fastest growing conservative TV network.
It's an absolute crazy day.
Home to the largest lineup of free speech champions anywhere. Delivering in-depth insight and unapologetic opinion on today's biggest news stories.
Americans aren't going to put up with this anymore.
SNC brings you the news that matters, told with integrity and clarity. Watch Salem News Channel free 24/7 on your television. Stream now on Pluto TV.
This is Black and Right with John Anthony.
Get up, get on up, get up, get on up.
But even Dr. King's assassination did not have the worldwide impact that George Floyd's death did.
There it is. You know, I just sent you audio that I want you to load up real quick. You remember there was no asphyxiation also, but somehow that came into the trial. Somehow, there was no. There's a science to death. You know how I know? I was a trained death investigator. I went through the training to become a trained death investigator. So I'm not speaking outside of my neck, from the side of my neck. I understand this stuff. I went through every document that I could possibly find that was related to this case. Did you? While you're trying to tell me about this case, I understand what to look for. I understand the science of dying. When you die, your body tells you how you die, guys. It does. It really does. Let's go to the phone lines. Tom from Kenosha.
Yes. John Anthony?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I'm calling from Wisconsin. I've been a listener to your show many times. Are you aware of the book called They're Lying by Liz Collins?
Oh yeah. That's who wrote. That's who did the documentary, The Fall of Minneapolis.
All right. I hope your listeners are picking up on that. That's probably the most important thing I can say. Also, the input by their Attorney General, Keith Ellison. Yeah. Are you aware of that?
I am. That's how we got the federal charge against these guys.
All right. How about the 11-year union police officer? I think he's part of writing the book with Liz Collins.
Yeah. Yeah, I have heard of him.
Okay. And I live here in Kenosha where we had the Jacob Blake issue.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. You wouldn't believe how out of control that got in a short amount of time. Officers had to go downtown late in the evening, couldn't even provide protection for the surrounding areas. So the citizens up here, we armed ourselves in subdivisions out in the county, around dealerships, waiting for the worst to happen on the third night, which didn't happen because of the Rittenhouse shooting. That kind of brought in the National Guard that was needed probably initially.
Yeah.
But the main reason I called was the book, They're Lying. It gets passed around to my family and friends here. It's rare that I talk to somebody that's ever even heard of it and it backs up everything you're saying, and maybe it adds a few things. I'm not sure, but thanks for taking me. Also, did you used to be on a Milwaukee channel years ago?
No, sir. No, sir.
Oh, you were?
No.
Oh, okay. I think there's somebody else. Anyway, great to listen to you. Thanks for putting me on the air.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it. Let's go to Phil from Tinley Park. Hey, Phil, before you start, have you had Dave's hot chicken yet in Orland?
That's weird. I'm on a Chick-fil-A run for my family right now as I'm speaking to you. Dave's, I know what you mean. I guess I've been there a few times. Yeah.
Oh, I got to try it. They just opened one up in Lockport yesterday. I got to go try it. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say Rally Point, Anthony. You're like making me think about it. You know, like I don't know what this Illinois 6 thing is, but that's not why I called.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Right in the wake of the Floyd shooting, of George Floyd dying, there was just so many conservatives that I knew, the people I consider more conservative than me, and it was like literally just so many people. It wasn't just the left; everyone was piling onto that narrative. That I think on the right. Okay, I was going to tell my story. What I remember most, the quiet voice in the wilderness, was Brett Weinstein. He was on Joe Rogan. It was just weeks ago, maybe a week after that. And he was trying to convince Joe, who was at that point, he was in the string 'em up crowd, you know. Can we just string them up and get it over with so maybe all this burning will stop? Remember that attitude?
Yeah.
And Weinstein said, you know, we may not have witnessed a murder that day, and there needs to be a trial, like a fair trial where all the evidence can come out and not, you know, aside from all this, and have it be aside from all this, the chaos.
Yeah.
I tried to say that to people I consider more conservative than me. Nobody, not to mention the liberals, I didn't even bring it up to them, but maybe I did, but nobody would have it. No. And it's, you know, it's kind of refreshing just to hear one of, you know, like a kindred spirit saying this stuff. So it's so many years later now, though. I just don't know at this point. Even I heard you guys talking about it yesterday. Like, he still doesn't get out of prison.
No,
it'd be symbolic, right? More probably than anything.
Yeah, I mean, but it also, I mean, he wouldn't have the federal case. That'll be completely overturned, and he'll be pardoned on it. And I do think he does need a new case. I think that case needs something else. I think it needs to be tried fairly. I do. I don't think it would. Listen. This was you had a judge who was afraid of what the public opinion would be and how much damage it would cause, because that's where we're at right now. I mean, even the U.S. Supreme Court's concerned about what the public outcry is going to be. You know, I don't think Trump's going to do it. Now, listen, I would like to see it done, but I don't think Trump should spend any political.
I don't think Trump's afraid of the mob thing. You know, like that fear anymore. It's just like, there's priorities now. He has about 18 months to get his agenda down, because we don't know what's going to happen in 26, right?
That's so
and
true.
So there's that. But the other interesting person on this was also pretty close in the wake of it was Bannon. He said, and I always love to blame China, communist China, for everything, including this. So I was like right along with him on this. Look at what Floyd had. He had fentanyl from China. He had COVID from China, and he had counterfeit money, which maybe you know this from law enforcement. Bannon said there was a theory they've been intentionally dumping counterfeit money into our system just to create more chaos or something like that. So there's like 3 for 3, you know, like win for China just to create chaos on us.
They are. Thank you so much, Phil. I appreciate the call. So I've been called by somebody who just created a page, Rex Conservo. So successful of a death investigator that he became a DEI radio talk show host instead. Now I'm a DEI radio host. Oh, good. Let's go to Mark from Bourbonnais.
Hey, John, how are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing well. So, and you hang right in there, DEI or not. You're the best.
Thank you.
I wanted to come with another angle on the Floyd situation. I remember reading where the names, the personal information of the jurors was printed in the Minneapolis papers.
Wow.
So can you say jury tampering?
Yeah.
So they were going all out to push this agenda.
Yeah.
They knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
It was going to lead to COVID. It was going to lead to going after, Trump via, mail-in voting and all that, which was a sham, as we know. It's all connected. You can connect the dots from start to finish.
That's true.
It's ridiculous.
That's so true.
Ridiculous.
Thanks, Mark. I appreciate the call. Matt Walsh did a clip back in 2024 about this. I want to play this really quickly before we go to break.
It all fell apart. Over the course of more than an hour, Chauvin's lawyer got Baker to admit a series of facts that, taken together, undermine the prosecution's entire theory of the case. For one thing, Baker admitted that just days after Floyd's death, he told prosecutors that Floyd had a lethal level of fentanyl in his system under normal circumstances. Baker also acknowledged that Floyd had a severely enlarged heart, that the autopsy showed no physical signs of neck injury or strangulation. The medical examiner went on to admit that if Floyd had been found alone in an apartment building, his death would be certified as an overdose without a second thought. Then Chauvin's lawyer delivered what should have been the kill shot. He asked Andrew Baker whether Derek Chauvin's knee had ever obstructed Floyd's airway. And here was the medical examiner's response to that question. Watch.
In terms of the placement of Mr. Chauvin's knee, would that explain anatomically why Mr. Floyd, would that anatomically cut off Mr. Floyd's airway?
In my opinion, it would not.
Well, that seems relevant. I mean, in fact, it seems like the whole thing. It's the whole case. The entire narrative surrounding the death of George Floyd up to this point was that Chauvin's knee blocked Floyd's airway. That was supposedly why he ran out of oxygen and stopped breathing. Now an expert witness, a prosecution witness for that matter, was admitting under oath that Chauvin's knee was not affecting Floyd's airway at all.
So how did he die from the knee to the neck? Because his knee wasn't on the neck, guys. I've used that move. I can't begin to tell you how many times. I have. Have you? I don't think you have, Mr. Conservo, Mr. Rex Conservo. We'll be right back.
This week on Capitol Hill is the best way to get informed on everything going on with Congress. Hosted by Tony Perkins and the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson.
Passing that budget resolution was a huge step forward. The media, the Democrats, they all decried the effort. They mocked us. They said it couldn't be done. We got the resolution done against all odds.
Stay informed and become a regular listener. This week on Capitol Hill. Sundays at 1 on AM 560. The Answer.
Fox News. I'm Deborah Valentine. House Speaker Johnson today introducing a bill funding the federal government, which, if passed, would avoid Friday's partial government shutdown. South Carolina Republican Representative Nancy Mace on the Fox Report with John Scott addressing her priorities.
One of the questions I have is, how are we treating USAID? Are we going to be able to fire people over the next couple of months? What does that look like?
The House likely votes on the bill Tuesday. Approximately 80,000 employees of Health and Human Services have received an email offering voluntary buyouts with a deadline to respond by Friday, March 14th. A 14-year-old charged with murder and attempted murder in the shooting death of a Newark, New Jersey police officer and the wounding of another. Essex County prosecutor Theodore Stevens says the officer killed 26-year-old Joseph Azcona.
5-year veteran officer Joseph Azcona was shot before he even had the opportunity to leave his police car.
America's listening to Fox News.
You heard me talk about Relief Factor and how so many people enjoy a better, more pain-free life because of it. If you're dealing with everyday pain, it makes sense you'd want to try it first. Well, Relief Factor makes that pretty pain-free too with their 3-week quick start kit for only $19.95. An easy, affordable way to see how it could literally change your life, like it has mine. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor doesn't just mask pain temporarily, it helps reduce or eliminate pain. In fact, the longer you take it, the more effective effective it is. Try and it couldn't be easier with their 3-week quick start for only $19.95, less than $1 a day. And it just takes a phone call to 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4RELIEF. 1-800-4RELIEF. Wherever you're having pain, every day you feel better is a day you live better. Try Relief Factor's 3-week quick start. Visit ReliefFactor.com. That's ReliefFactor.com, or call 1-800-4RELIEF, 800-4RELIEF for Relief Factor.
Imagine using your skills and experiences to inspire young minds. We see the teacher in you. No matter your starting point, we can help you become a teacher. Teaching offers consistent pay, a pension, and summers off. Learn how you can be the teacher. Visit BeTheTeacher.org. Sponsored by Grow Your Own Teachers, Illinois.
You can hear this today at PragerTopia.com.
It is time to take your calls on truly whatever is on your mind.
You talked a while back about the Jewish law that says that as a Jew, you are not supposed to drink wine that's poured by a non-Jew. Did I get it correct?
Correct. That's an Orthodox law. Correct.
Okay. So is that something that's in the Bible?
Hear the entire episode. It's for Pragertopia members only. Go to Pragertopia.com.
A great smile can make you feel happy and confident. So when you consciously conserve your teeth, that glowing smile will show through. At Best Dental Group, doctors Economos, Gavalis, and their staff are ready to help you create that perfect look or maintain the one you have now. Along with general dentistry, Best Dental Group is a multidiscipline practice with an orthodontist, periodontist, and prosthetic specialists on site. They use the newest breakthroughs in dental technology such as titanium implants, Invisalign clear braces, and laser treatments. Don't let fear get in the way. They can recommend sedation to make your experience as comfortable as possible. Best Dental Group is located in historic downtown Bartlett and is a multilingual office. Call 630-830-4930, 630-830-4930, or visit bestdental.org. Best Dental Group, sharing your conservative values and helping you to conserve your teeth.
Hey, heard you're getting ready to move. We just listed our house on the market. Just make sure you have the right attorney. Doesn't the real estate agent take care of all that? They stay involved, but you want to make sure you have a great lawyer that's negotiating the terms, helping resolve inspection items, clearing up title issues, preparing the deed and other documents, and attending the closing.
The attorneys at Nauman & Associates in Elk Grove Village have decades of experience handling real estate transactions every day all over Chicagoland. NALawGroup.com.
Honey, we're not moving, but we gotta do something about this kitchen.
Funny you mention it. I just stopped by Forever Remodeling's new showroom in Niles. I saw over a dozen kitchen and bathroom layouts they designed. They even offered to stop by the house and give us a free in-home design consultation.
What'd you tell them?
That we're free today?
Visit foreverremodeling.com today. That's the number 4, everremodeling.com. Forever Remodeling, stress-free and high-quality remodeling.
And now, more Black and Right with John Anthony.
Welcome back to Black and Right. Hey, Rex Conservo, call in, put up or shut up. How about that? Call in, 312-642-5600. I'll take your call. Come on, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's see what expertise you have. Call in. I'm not afraid. I'll take your call, brother. I'm not the one. Trust me. Let's go, man. I'm sorry, man. It's already been shown that the government will do whatever it takes to try to take somebody out. And if you didn't watch what just happened in the last 4 years or when Donald Trump said that he was running for president, if you don't believe it's real, they just showed us. They came out of the closets. Normally they do this stuff from behind the scenes. They didn't care. They knew they had to stop Donald Trump at all costs. And they were willing to do anything, even try to kill him. So don't pull that on me. Pat from Glen Ellen.
Yeah, hi, John. I love your show. I just wanted to mention something in your previous segment about homeschooling. I wasn't sure. I only heard the very end of it. I wasn't sure if it was mentioned that the HB 2827 has been expanded recently to include some requirements for all private schools.
Yeah,
not just homeschoolers.
Yeah, we
touched on that.
We discussed that. Yes, we did.
Okay.
And I think
I'm hoping, just as people got sick of the left overreach nationally, I'm hoping this could be the spark that sets Illinois on the path to putting the left in place for their overreach.
I'm with it, and I hope that squad and Pam Bondi's kind of, I was iffy on her. I wanted Matt Gaetz because I knew Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz knew where the dead bodies were. He knew where they buried everything at. That's why I wanted him, because Trump would not have had to worry. Pam Bondi, I like the pick, but she's starting to be iffy with me as it relates to some of the stuff that she's doing. So she reminds me of Amy Coney Barrett. I didn't want Amy Coney Barrett. I did not want her. I didn't.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you were proven right. Yeah.
Thank you, Pat. I really appreciate the call.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening too. I was gonna play this audio clip earlier. I know I played it on my Detroit's Morning Answer show. Don't forget to tune into that show tomorrow, Monday from 7 to 9 a.m. Eastern Time, 6 to 8 Central. I was going to play this clip because somebody talked about, somebody brought up Israel. And I was having a conversation with some people, and I made a post on social media, and it kind of went viral because I stand unapologetically with Israel. And you know why? I sat up one day and watched. I said I was going to find that X account, but I tried, but I couldn't find it. But there's this person on X. I guess you just type in October 7 Israel videos, and if you sit and watch those videos, just how barbaric these people were, you would have the same outcome or belief that I have as it relates to I wanted Bibi Netanyahu to go in there and just wipe him completely out. I'm not a violent man. Trust me, I'm not a violent man. But you don't want to see me angry. Trust me, you don't. And when I saw these hostages come to the White House, that was another breaking moment.
On October 7th. So this was hell, huh? It was the worst thing that anybody can go through. One of the days they handcuffed one of the boys that was with us, and when he came, and he brought a cutter, and he cut his hand and smiled. They used to eat in front of us while they starved us.
It's a miracle.
That you're living.
Yes.
I was kidnapped on 7 October. My wife and my 2 daughters been murdered on the same day. I was held in captivity 491 days. I've been suffered there from starvation, violence, and humiliations daily. One time they broke in my ribs, and it was so hurt that I couldn't breathe for 1 month. Thanks to President Trump, I'm a free man. I can hug my mother again. I can hug my brothers and sisters.
I was moved 33 times, spent time in tunnels with no air to breathe, barely food, hardly any water, saw horrific torturing of hostages that I spent time with, and I am so grateful and thankful to be here because of President Trump and the administration's great efforts.
As you know, they're all being released right now. We have so many hostages waiting to be released.
My little brother is still in there.
My family and I myself, we believe you've been sent by God for a reason.
We think they can get out thanks to you. Yes.
We are here because of you.
We're alive and free people because of you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
That's unbelievable.
I've never had anything like this. I mean, I've saved a lot of people, but I've never seen anything like this where you lived under those conditions.
Horrible stories.
Not even believable.
Thank you.
We'll get them out.
Wow.
Man, how could you not? How could you not? When these people, they have no chill. They will kill anything as they did on October 7th. Think about this. They killed babies. Babies! We'll be right back.
Would you go to court without a lawyer when the other guy is lawyered up? Or are you going to go it alone and learn law and procedure as you go? When you have an insurance claim for your home or business, it's the same thing.
This is Dan Lights from Crosscom. We inspect your property, file your claim, negotiate the damages, and maximize your settlement with your insurance company.
Insurance companies will send out their inspectors that work for them, get paid by them, and represent them. Not you.
If we complete the repairs approved by your insurance company, our service is free. Crosscom Public Adjusters has turned denied claims into approved claims. We've also increased insurance claims anywhere from 23 to 1,000%, and we could do the same for you. We are licensed by the Department of Insurance and work in Illinois, Northwest Indiana, and Southern Wisconsin. Crosscom Public Adjusters, 630-871-5500. Online at crosscominc.com. That's crosscominc.com. Crosscom, building trust for over 20 years.
This is Seth Leibson for townhall.com. The House Judiciary Committee just held hearings on so-called sanctuary city, bringing in various mayors trying to justify their policies. I say so-called sanctuary cities because that is the Orwellian term for what should be called nullification cities. These mayors are nullifying federal law. Liberals used to oppose such doctrines in the name of protecting all of our civil rights. Recall Martin Luther King Jr. specifically denouncing Alabama Governor George Wallace in his I Have a Dream speech for exactly this. In our Republican form of government, localities don't get to veto federal law, not on behalf of racial segregation and not on behalf of illegal immigrants thwarting the law. James Madison called this effort a fatal inlet of anarchy. Mayors deciding which federal laws to enforce and which to stymie is just that, anarchy. If they don't like the federal law, their duty is to try and change it, not stand in the way of enforcing it. These mayors are not heroes, they are anarchists, proving to be little more than a law unto themselves.
Come on with this, people. Move it!
Did you really think you could make that company deliver yourself?
Oh, I cannot handle any more traffic.
You could be getting much more done at your place of business.
I've wasted 45 minutes and now this place is gonna close.
Time is money. Let Quick Delivery Service take on the traffic hassle for you. They'll deliver almost anything, from large pallets of materials to important documents, or both. No forms, no labels, no scanning. Just tell Quick Delivery Service where it's going, they'll pick it up, and get it to your destination quickly. Your cargo delivery is tracked in real time with GPS. Notifications are delivered right to your inbox. Visit QuickDelivery.com. That's QuickDelivery.com. Or you can deliver like this.
Seriously, another train?
Or get your delivery there on time with QuickDelivery.com. Or call 847-534-2244. 847-534-2244.
Black and Right continues. Once again, here's John Anthony.
Welcome back to Black and Right. We're in a home stretch, Paul. We are in the home stretch, almost done with today's show. I'm telling you guys, doing radio 6 days a week, it's tiring, don't get me wrong. The other day, Thursday night, when I knew that I had to fill in on the morning show, Chicago's morning, I think I got in bed about 7:30. I'm not going to lie, I might have taken the melatonin to help me fall asleep. Yes, I did. And I woke up at around 2:30 after falling asleep around, I think it was 7:30, I think it was. Yeah. So did you guys read Trump's Truth Social post about Hamas? I'm going to read it. He says, Shalom Hamas means hello and goodbye. You can choose. Release all of the hostages now, not later, and immediately return all of the dead bodies of the people you murdered, or it is over for you. Only sick and twisted people keep bodies, and you are sick and twisted. I am sending Israel everything it needs to finish the job. Not a single Hamas member will be safe if you don't do as I say. I've just met with your former hostages whose lives you have destroyed. This is your last warning. For the leadership, now is the time to leave Gaza while you still have a chance. Also to the people of Gaza, a beautiful future awaits, but not if you hold hostages. If you do, you are dead. Make a smart decision. Release the hostages now, or there will be hell to pay later. Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America. I believe it was what's his name? Is it Steve Whitcox? Steve Whitcox. I think I thought I had I might have put it in. I'm looking through the audio right now. It might be on CMA's. I think I was gonna play it yesterday, but didn't have the time. Yeah, here he is. Here's he talking about this about the Israeli hostages. Because guess what, guys? There's still an American there. One American. One is enough. You know, Jesus talked about the 99 and the one. One American still there. Joe Biden, shame on you. You and your whole administration. No American hostages should have still be there when Trump took over.
I think he felt the awesome responsibility of this office. And I think he listened to 9 human beings who had been held in captivity in some really difficult circumstances say to him, thank God for you. Thank God for your election. Thank God, because each and every one of them, to a person, not scripted, said, but for him, they would not be there today. And they were grateful for their families. And, you know, in the Jewish religion, save a life, you save 1,000 lives. The president was there listening to 9 people say that each of them viewed their lives as being saved by him. They talked about how they heard about his election, and they were uplifted. They were in these dark, dank caverns, 200 feet below the surface of the earth, never having any hope. And when they heard he was elected, they were ebullient. They had never felt like they were elated, waiting for him, because they knew he was going to help them get rescued. So it was a really emotional experience for him and for me and everybody who was in that Oval Office yesterday.
I want Witkoff. I want him in a larger role should somebody step down or walk away. I want him in a larger role. This guy has been an absolute stud. He's the one that got the Venezuelan hostages that I didn't know about. Did any of you know that we have hostages in Venezuela? I didn't. I want to give a really quick shout out to the Steinbergs. And here's the reason why. Anna and her husband. Here's the reason why. My wife made a post the other day. I've been trying to get to post it. They planted some trees for my son, John Boy. Trees for Israel. It says, well, let me put on the glasses. Let me put on my wife's readers. Yeah, I can't find my readers. It says, when you shall come to the land, you shall plant trees, according to Leviticus 19:23. 18 trees will be planted in memory of John Wesley Christian Anthony. May his memory be for a blessing. May his legacy live through you. May this serve as a living tribute to his memory, the Steinbergs, the Jewish National Fund, USA. My son now has 18 trees that will grow in the state of Israel because the Steinbergs made sure that happened. I told her I want to be able to go and visit to see those trees that have been planted in honor of my son, John Wesley Christian. That's that's amazing, man. I'm sorry, that's so amazing. Yeah, I don't know which Jeffrey Sachs. We only got a minute. Should I? Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna start it. A lot of these people that are out there talking about this conflict between Russia and Ukraine have no clue about the historical nature of this. Jeffrey Sachs, he's an economist. He broke it down better than anybody I've seen thus yet.
This is not an attack by Putin on Ukraine in the way that we are told every day. This started in 1990, February 9th, 1990. James Baker III, our Secretary of State, said to Mikhail Gorbachev, NATO will not move 1 inch eastward if you agree to German unification, basically ending World War II. And Gorbachev said, that's very important. Yes, NATO doesn't move, and we agreed to German unification. The U.S. then cheated on this, already starting in 1994, when Clinton signed off on basically a plan to expand NATO all the way to Ukraine. This is when the so-called neocons took power. And Clinton was the first agent of this.
We'll continue this with Jeffrey Sachs, the famed economist, when we get back.
If you have high blood pressure, listen to this story. Ira was given a grim diagnosis about his blood pressure. His doctor warned it's sky high. If he didn't get it down in 3 weeks, he was going to need surgery. So Ira began exercising, went on medication. But what seemed to be the miracle change, his diet. After thorough research and consulting with a nutritionist friend, Ira concocted a juice from foods that work like natural blood pressure medicines. 2 weeks later, his blood pressure dropped 30 points. What helped save Ira's life, amazed his doctor, is now available to you. Ira and his nutritionist founded 120 Life, a delicious juice and powdered mix with natural ingredients that have shown to lower blood pressure. Try it yourself risk-free with a 2-week trial pack. Go to 120life.com and use coupon code 560 to save 15% and get free shipping. They're so sure it can noticeably lower your blood pressure in 2 weeks, they'll give your money back if you're not satisfied. Order now, 120life.com. Use coupon code 560 at checkout.
You never want to miss one of life's most important moments. A graduation, a birthday, a first communion, a wedding. When these moments happen, you want to make sure to capture them so that you and your loved ones can remember them for years to come. For over 30 years, families have relied on Tom Kaloran Photography to capture important life moments. This locally owned family business can provide the solutions you need for your important event photography, from weddings and birthdays to class reunions and golf outings. No matter the size or scope, Tom Kaloran Photography will make sure you have lasting memories to share for years to come. Tom Kaloran Photography is also the official photographer for AM 560 The Answer. To learn more and to see their portfolio, just visit KaloranPhotography.com. That's KILLORAN photography.com. Or call them at 708-361-0025. Tom Kaloran Photography, capturing important life moments for over 30 years.
It's the show the mainstream media doesn't want you to know about. It's Black and Right with John Anthony.
Welcome back to Black and Right. Just really quickly before we continue with Jeffrey Sachs, I had an article here. Look up House Bill 3458. That's House Bill 3458. State Rep wants to make it legal for people appearing to have a mental episode to attack cops. It would still be illegal to attack firemen like her husband. You can't make this stuff up.
The expansion of NATO started in 1999 with Poland, Hungary, and Czech Republic. At that point, Russia didn't much care. There was no border other than with the Königsberg, but other than that, there was no direct threat. Then the U.S. led the bombing of Serbia in 1999. That was bad, by the way, because that was a use of NATO to bomb a European capital, Belgrade, 78 straight days to break the country apart. The Russians didn't like that very much. But Putin became president, they swallowed it, they complained, but even Putin started out pro-European, pro-American, actually asked maybe we should join NATO when there was still the idea of some kind of mutually respectful relationship. Then 9/11 came, then came Afghanistan, and the Russians said, yeah, we'll support you, we understand, to root out terror. But then came two other decisive actions. In 2002, the United States unilaterally walked out of the Anti-Ballistic Missile Treaty. This was probably the most decisive event, never discussed in this context. But what it did was trigger the U.S. putting in missile systems in Eastern Europe that Russia views as a dire, direct threat. In 2004-5, we engaged in a soft regime change operation in Ukraine. But in 2009, Yanukovych won the election and he became president in 2010 on the basis of neutrality for Ukraine. That calmed things down because the U.S. was pushing NATO, but the people of Ukraine on the opinion polls didn't even want to be in NATO. They knew that the country is divided between ethnic Ukrainian, ethnic Russian. What do we want with this? We want to stay away from your problems. So in February 22nd, 2014, the United States participated actively in the overthrow of Yanukovych. A typical U.S. regime change operation, have no doubt about it. And the Russians did us a favor. They intercepted a really ugly call between Victoria Nuland, my colleague at Columbia University now, between her and the U.S. ambassador to Ukraine, Jeffrey Piat, who's a senior State Department official till today. And they talked about regime change. They said, who's going to be the next government? All of this is to say, the U.S. then said, okay, now NATO's really going to enlarge. And Putin kept saying, stop. You promised no NATO enlargement. It's been, by the way, I forgot to mention, in 2004, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Bulgaria, Romania, Slovakia, Slovenia, 7 more countries in the not one.
I'm going to find the whole conversation of this, because this whole thing was, I was watching it. I think it was on, somebody played the whole video. I think it was on Facebook. I'm going to find the whole video and post it to my Black and Right, if I don't forget before I get home. Patriot MRI, thank you so much for those kind words about my son. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. I don't take it for granted that people want to turn in and tune in and listen to this show. Tune in when you tune in to my Detroit's Morning Answer. Hope to hear you. I hope you can join in Monday through Friday. We're gonna have some great guests this week. Bob Woodson's gonna join us from the Bob Woodson Center. We've got a couple of other guests. Jeffrey Sachs is gonna join us. It's gonna be a heck of a show. Great job, Paul. Guys, we'll see you next week. Hopefully, I'll see you Monday.
During tax season, your personal info travels to a lot of places you can't control. Between payroll, your home office, your tax preparer, and the IRS, if your W-2 gets exposed, that's just the ticket for identity thieves. That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Don't let identity thieves take you for a ride. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code CLAY. Visit LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated in the best hearing aids of 2024 by USA Today, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, just $189.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000